Okay, we're ready.
Okay, we will open this meeting of March 19th, 2015. Let the record show that Selectman Scanlon is on his way. And I'd like to welcome our new Selectman, Peter Falk.
Thank you.
Welcome to the team. Uh-oh, gas gauge.
Uh-oh. That's not a good start.
No. I'm not going to say this out loud because this is not...
Second before your mic down.
Yep. John Scanlon will be considerably late. How do we want to deal with that?
I think we need to wait for him to have votes on the assignations.
Move on. We'll just have to conduct business.
That could be an hour. Well, let's delay the voting on the assignments until John gets here.
Oh, yeah, that can
Well,
wait.
we can,
Show that to Peter so he knows.
That can wait.
and we just move right into the rest of it.
Okay. We can do that. We'll wait for any
We've got
decisions.
minutes and what
Yep.
have you we can do.
Okay, we'll move into, so we're not going to do any appointments or anything, Cindy, because he's just texted us, said it would be a little bit later than usual.
Okay.
Well, we could go through,
I did talk to him, so I know what as far as the appointment is concerned, what is...
okay, then we could go through that.
I have to have, to DRA, all the chairs and the boards, the members that are sworn in, by the end of March.
Well, yeah, you'll have them.
We'll do them tonight. We won't leave without doing them
No,
tonight.
just, this way you know about planning board, the commission, zoning, they all have to be in place, I have to report it in.
Okay.
And some years they're a little lax on it.
Okay, pull your mic down so that they can hear you.
You want to hear me cough?
No, that's all right. Joe, pull your mic a little bit closer so Gail can hear you. All right, so let's move on with the approval of minutes, March 5th. There was some discussion on going over with the appointments of committees, but let's see how, if it's beyond like 5-ish, we'll do it.
Motion to read
I
the
do
minutes
know
of
what he
March
wants.
5th, 2015 to the board for discussion and correction.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes?
All right.
Aye. March 5th.
Right at the bottom of page 1, the sentences are out of order.
But one needs to be deleted.
It was confirmed that the selectmen would be counting them. Selectman Scanlon asked about counting paper ballots. And then it says it was confirmed the selectmen would be counting them. So that there's an extra sentence or something in there, Gail.
Okay, thank you.
And I know it's a little on the picky side, Gail, but would you please print the minutes front and back?
Believe it or not, I asked the printer to do that, but it didn't come out double-sided.
Okay, all right, we're good. Thank you.
On the first page,
Yes?
paragraph that begins other, well, about the fourth line down. Then the exit would be back through the entrance area. We need to add between through and next to the entrance area. The exit can never exit through the entrance area.
So next to,
Next to. And then the very last sentence, I think we can cross off there. Welcome. Top of the second page. Gerlach's parcel of land, we should put the first name in, so people will know more what we're talking about.
On page 2, under, the selectmen made a motion to request from the Tilton Town Clerk Tax Collector a summary of activity by the owner form prior to any abatement, adjustments, or refunds. And then you go into a discussion, and you say that there was a discussion about the ongoing confusion between the officers and so on and so forth.
You want the motion after that paragraph?
To my recollection, there was another other verbiage before that motion that when Joyce was giving her report, we wanted to be consistent in getting the summary of activity. You know how it says the balance, how much it's owed? So we want to be consistent from your office to our office to get that all the time. That portion on the tape, Gail, should be before the motion. Below it is a separate issue. Then in the future, perhaps maybe we can all get together and find out where we need to be and to make it seamless, consistent. So there's, what does the rest of the board feel about that?
I agree with you.
I think there's something missing at the top here about the, it says, you started to say it when it said that when the abating of the interest and taxes being paid on it. And then, but there was another portion of that where we didn't get that form. All right? Yep.
So is that, I always give the activity report, so is that what you...
Well, this particular instance, we didn't have an activity report, and I believe it was on Gerlach, right? And,
Yeah, I gave a total. Yeah.
so we just said in the future, we would just ask you if we could just have that.
I always...
Yeah.
But it's the actual statement, tax statement, because that gives the date that first issue was paid, second issue was paid, the original property tax amounts were, total paid, and then what was remaining.
The same summary that you give to us when we want to collect the tax, when we're going to lien, and that kind of, and that was really helpful for us when we made phone calls to the people and said, no, this is what you paid, this is what you didn't. All right. Okay. So we'll just take a look at that. Anybody else?
Page 2. I don't know, from the bottom. Under Town Administrator Report, Ms. Fullwiler reported the Conservation Commission and made room, blah, blah, blah. River Trail easement, and I believe it's a construction easement, not maintenance. Is it not?
Well, there's two easements.
Right.
One is right to use, the other is a temporary construction.
Right, so we've got Winnipesaukee River Trail easement / maintenance easement. It should be construction easement.
Easement and construction.
And then underneath that, where it ends Glenn Smith in the right-hand column, we should identify who Glenn Smith is, Northfield Administrator. On page 3, second paragraph, parking at Mechanic Street letter. What about it? Where's the rest of the story? I think we were going to hold off on that.
Weren't you supposed to send a letter? You were working on a letter?
Well, there were a couple of things suggested. That we allow the snow to clear, giving the police department the opportunity to actually police the parking spaces because you can't see where they're supposed to be when the snow is there. Dennis had some suggestions about simply moving the, I'm sorry, what the thing called? Trash container, over a little bit so that they would have a more direct...
The dumpster?
The dumpster, thank you, in to back up to it or approach it from front, whichever they do. Right now, they have to go in and then slightly turn to the left the way it is situated. So the letter was basically on hold to see how these things work out. They can't put any signs in there that say no parking or you'd be towed because the ground's frozen in the snow. So it's just kind of hanging in there. And then it says, winter maintenance, parking, and trash ordinance, single to be tabled. The housing ordinance is the one that was going to be tabled. The winter maintenance policy, the parking policy, and the trash ordinance, well, I guess they're all ordinances, needed to be reviewed.
So it's not
That in
And then Selectman Constantino recommended focusing on one of the Thursday meetings is a workshop to review ordinances, but the top part,
right, the housing ordinance had been tabled, but we were going to work on it.
no.
We're not,
This is before town meeting, Joyce.
yeah?
This is March 5th, so nothing had happened to the housing ordinance because we hadn't had town meeting. We discussed the possibility of tabling it. What we actually did is I postponed it indefinitely till the next annual meeting. So we just need to explain what's going on with the Mechanic Street letter, and that if we're going to say something was tabled, we discussed tabling the housing ordinance at town meeting. And I brought up that the winter maintenance ordinance, the parking ordinance, and the trash ordinance should be reviewed.
Yep. Got it. Page 4, we're all set with non-public adjournment. Okay. Is there any more corrections or additions?
Oh, I haven't gone past page 3.
Oh, okay. I'll take a second.
That's okay.
No.
Page 4 is short.
Yep.
Page 4, Selectman Dawson reported she had driven around town with Chief Cormier. I actually did.
And they had a good time.
Yeah, good time was had by all. But as far as confirming where the signs would be placed, we drove over to the high school campus and the middle school campus to determine where signs would be placed for the election. It was after all of that that we drove around town looking at all kinds of different things that needed attention.
So the purpose was to go over and
Right.
confirm where
So
the
we
signs
can,
would be.
we can leave in that we drove around town, or we can take it out. But if we leave it in, just kind of expound on that we're looking at other issues. Please.
Why not? That was pretty fun.
I know, it was fun. Okay, I'm good now, thank you.
All right. Okay, I make a motion that we accept the minutes as amended for March 5th, 2015. I have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Yes. Okay. All right, next. On our list is actually highway, and they're 515. Joyce, do you have some things together or no? Do we want to move?
I don't know if they're here for the public, or are they here?
Are you folks here to see us specifically, or are you here to listen to what the discussion is on the agenda on Bittern Lane? That is? Okay.
I'm not quite ready yet, so if you want to go on with something.
Okay.
I have something.
Yep, let's we can get that out of the way.
Well, figuring out what I did with it. Maybe I left it over there. So I've been, I have compiled a draft letter to the resident who's been using the handicap parking.
Yeah.
What is that, Lot D?
Yep,
All winter long?
yep.
And we had difficulty during the snow removal process. I did leave it over there. I have the parking policy out, and I've read through it. And I cannot find in there where it specifically designates a section of the parking lot to overnight parking.
Of Lot D, it doesn't.
So,
Lot B,
so in Lot B,
B and C, is it, Joyce?
That's on the map. It's on the cover.
it's not on the map.
It isn't on the map in the notes?
Lot, I believe it's B in the back, that it's residential. If you look at, under placards, I think it says it.
Well, it's not very clear. I mean, I compiled a letter, there was enough, because the car wasn't removed, the car was not removed to allow for snow removal operations, so that's a violation in itself. So in the map, or on the map page, it refers to residents and resident guests. Lot A, B, and C, back row only.
Okay.
But it doesn't talk about overnight. It just says residents and residents guests. And then there's page 1, those are definitions. Page 3, I don't find anything, it's still kind of definitions. Same thing there, stopping or standing, parking regulations. Enforcement hours on Main Street is discussed. Nothing, 3 or more habitual. It talks on stopping, standing, or parking. That doesn't really cover anything, that's kind of just, we have the violations list. And even in the violations list, talks about no overnight parking from midnight to 5 a.m. And that's really the language used for Main Street. And then you get into handicap parking, traffic violations, there's nothing there.
I'm trying to find it on our
On
drives.
page 8, it says K, overnight parking. It shall be unlawful to park any vehicle on either side of Main Street in the downtown area from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. There will be no overnight parking in any municipal parking lots without a Tilton parking permit between the hours of 12 midnight and 5 a.m. And then talks about the violation of overnight parking. That's kind of the only language I found. Public street, town, highway, local.
I don't have my parking.
Pile of snow. Guilty,
I
guilty.
feel it is.
Yes. Excuse me. And then on page 9, it talks about issuance of stickers, residents, merchants, businesses, or employees in downtown area. Wish to park in long-term municipal parking lots may purchase a permit. Talks about where to put it, the fee, visible during the winter, where it should be. Nothing on overnight parking. It does say all vehicles in municipal lots must be registered and able to be moved under their own power. Merchants, business owner, employees.
So the enforcement hour, it does make reference to enforcement of time-restricted spaces on Sundays and holidays, except in the case of overnight parking, which will be enforced 7 days a week.
It doesn't tell you where that is.
Right. It doesn't. And that's what you're going after.
Yeah, so here's one, restricted use for long-term parking. Uses will include no recreational vehicles. Guest parking is discussed, and then we go right to 10, which is the back page. 1 year, and then it repeats, there's no overnight parking on Main Street. Short-term only. Okay, penalties. Parking in designated long-term parking spaces without a valid sticker will result in a fine and removal by tow at the owner's expense. But where are those long-term parking spaces? The map is the one that only gives you a clue, but I don't think, may I see the map? I don't think it refers to them as long-term. What does it say? Yeah, it doesn't, it says residents and guests shall park in the back row only. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, in order to enforce this, I think we need to review this and make sure it's very clear. If we're designating overnight parking in a specific spot, we've got to be very clear as to where it is.
There is signage, too.
Well, but if the ordinance doesn't back it up, the sign is,
Person shall
sign is, yeah,
Well-
sign it.
There will be no overnight parking in any municipal lots without a Tilton parking permit between the hours of 12 midnight and 5 a.m. Any violation of overnight parking will be set to fine schedule and shall be towed. It shall be unlawful to park any vehicle on either side of Main Street, downtown area from 12 to midnight. Okay, so 8, 7, 8, 9.
We also have a section in here that,
Okay, so it says residents in the downtown area who wish to park in long-term municipal parking lots may purchase the town of Tilton. Board of Selectmen will determine the administrative may be blocked during the winter.
on the map,
Still doesn't say where.
on the map, we have handicap parking, so it still says no time limit except during snow emergencies.
We
On
took
an
out,
amendment we signed that was effective August 11th, 2011, we have, no person, including handicap placard or licensed vehicles, shall park any vehicle on a public way or sidewalk within the town of Tilton. Oh, that's not the one, it's above it. Time limits for handicap parking shall be unlimited between the hours of 5 a.m. and 12 midnight on Main Street. So we're restricting them by saying that it's not unlimited during the day. They had to park according to the hours. So
Is
in
that-
other words, if you have 2-hour parking,
it says in the original one that,
it's just,
didn't we determine by law that we could only do 1 hour beyond that? That was the original.
no, you can give them unlimited, like it says, but the law says if you're going to, and the law suggests, if you have parking spaces, around handicap parking spaces that have time limits. The law says you can give them, so if it's 2 hours, then they get an extra hour, they get 3. But they also suggest to not have handicap parking spaces that are unlimited hours.
Right, and that's what we changed it to, unlimited hours.
Right, but what I'm saying is on the map, we have not changed that. It still says no time limit except during snow emergencies. So we have to remove that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, is we've got to edit the map.
But I also believe that we should go back, instead of saying unlimited hours, I really do believe that it should be grant those, like it was originally, grant those that display the original official handicap placard license plate. Time limits for handicap parking shall be 1 hour in excess of the regular time limit.
Well, it is. That's what I'm saying.
That's the RSA.
These still stand, but our map doesn't reflect what our ordinance is telling us. That's all I'm saying, is we got to fix the map.
But didn't that addendum change it? That we wrote?
No, the addendum just speaks to, that just refers to Main Street.
All right.
Well, Main
Main
Street
Street handicap?
specifically, even handicap. The handicap can park there all night. Shall be unlimited between the hours of 5 a.m. No, they can't park there overnight. I'm confused. But anyway, the most important thing is this is
It just
a
says,
little convoluted.
it says, in specific sections in the municipal lots with dedicated spaces for residents.
Okay,
So we have to fix that.
we have to fix this.
Okay. I'm on board with that. How about everybody else?
So I'm just telling you, as it pertains to the letter that I was asked to
Yep.
kind of draft out, it was kind of interesting. I discovered this,
Yeah. Good catch.
but we can go over the letter.
I think that we do need to emphasize that and spell out the, where the lots are.
So we definitely need some time to go over these ordinances. Okay, that was my attempt
think
to
that-
use up some time.
You don't, do you have anything else? I really do think that we should take, or we could take an ordinance a week and concentrate on that for during this time where it's fairly slow. But I'll just take one night and take the 3 ordinances, trash.
Well, I would suggest
parking.
that we all like, all
Revise
right,
that.
take home the parking ordinance, and then next week we'll come together
Do
and
it.
everybody, or we can email each other what we have discovered without making any kind of, just FYI, here's what know the conversation. Then we can all review what each other has found, and then when we come together at a meeting, we can discuss those findings.
Right.
And offer our suggestions to correct. It might save time.
A couple weeks ago, I spoke of the movie license for the senior center, and there was some discussion whether or not we could go into the town of Tilton as an umbrella, and then maybe Parks could get in on that same umbrella, because you can't show a movie without this movie license in public. So we found. It wouldn't be cost-effective. It's $662 on up, depending on how many municipality entities go under that umbrella. It's $235 for the senior center for the year. We have a donor for that.
So each committee within the town,
Well, they go by if you have a Parks and Recreation and you have a senior center, well, there's a couple that are going to use it. And let's say that you have a conservation that will show programs and whatever. Now there's 3. And they kind of gauged with that, and they quoted anywhere between $550 to $662 to have it under the town of Tilton. But the thing is, you could not take that license and show a movie in the afternoon up under the, in Riverfront, or on a Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon, go to the island and show it, you wouldn't be able to do that, because it's locked into a town of Tilton kind of thing. Building, 257 Main Street.
Location.
Location.
It's location, that
We
makes
could
sense.
say,
Okay.
you know, park and recreation, because you show a movie at Christmas time or something, and we could show that as a separate location, in 11 Grange Road as the senior center as a separate location, then we've got that, but
So we'll have to make up our own movies.
it's a lot of, it is a lot of money.
Wow.
If you had MetroCast, and we had MetroCast here, and you streamed MetroCast, we could do that. Now, if we bought MetroCast at the senior center, MetroCast fee is encumbered in that movie license. And the movie license is encumbered in that fee. But it's not it costs us more than $235 to get it. And it, cost effective for us, we wouldn't do it. So,
Can't you use Netflix?
you can't, because you can use it, Netflix, for home viewing, but in a public place, it's a huge fine. If I had my Netflix account and I decided I was going to put a movie up at the senior center, I believe the fine is in excess of $1,000. Movie violation.
And they don't have a license that would cover that with Netflix.
Right.
That's
Didn't you ever
so
watch
true.
that little caption when you watch DVDs?
Right. That we all skip through.
Interpol, FBI.
So nonetheless, Allison Hartwell Stewart family has donated the movie license to the senior center, which is good.
That's very nice.
Did anybody check out Each Child is Ours for at the Agway?
The chief did, and I have it right here. Yes, it is a, do you want to explain it? I don't know if
Oh, okay. The chief did speak with her. It is legitimate, and she may be pushing the date of April 11th out because that's coming up too soon.
Did it get run by Dari to see if that was allowed? There was a question
What
about
kind of-
gambling, right?
Right. It's,
They want to do either
The raffle.
a raffle or a
Or bingo.
a vendor bingo, which is different from bingo that we go to.
I've never been to bingo.
Oh,
Come on, you know what it is.
so a craft fair
Yeah,
during the day,
it's a card with little
a vendor
buttons.
bingo in the evening.
no, it's a dog that you sing to.
The vendor bingo in the evening would involve a 50/50 raffle.
Yeah.
So has it gone by Dari to see if that's allowed in that area?
Not that I know of. We can make sure that that's done though.
What would the use be?
I don't know. Let's show it to Dari.
Then what we would have to, there have been precedents with craft fairs in that building. We've had them
They've
for
had
the,
gambling,
well, they,
raffles, bingo.
raffles, well, I mean, when you go into a,
Isn't that,
no.
I don't know.
What they do in a craft fair is, a lot of the vendors, they'll ask a vendor to donate an item, and then they'll sell tickets, and then they'll do like a silent auction, or they'll just do a raffle, and there'll be 10 items or something, and they'll raffle them off.
Pretty common.
It's very common in a craft fair, and we've done it for,
So you're telling me it's not?
it's not,
Gambling?
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Personally, I've run a lot of craft fairs, and Judy's run a lot of craft fairs, and I think that she's done a couple there for the charter school, one or two, and we've done them there for the senior center, and
And the police.
police have done craft fairs there, so
I have no experience with bingo or vendor
I
bingo.
think it would
or
be fine.
Any kind of bingo. To me, it's, I just.
I mean, if they had a poker night, that would be a whole
We
different,
have a gaming, in our hawkers and peddlers ordinance.
right,
Move the gaming ordinance, they incorporated into that.
right.
But I think that's more like for pinball machines or like the poker nights. I don't know if it's for a nonprofit
Right.
who's doing a bingo to raise money. I don't-
We can't do a bingo in the state of New Hampshire for non-public and profit unless we get a license from the state of New Hampshire. You cannot do that. We couldn't do it at the senior center just randomly. We couldn't do it. You have to be licensed, and there's a lot of paperwork that you have to go through in order to do that.
I wonder if this woman knows that.
But it's not that kind of a bingo. They challenge vendors to donate items.
there's no money.
Right.
You don't win
It's-
money.
Right.
Okay. So we're going to
I
send them...
mean, sometimes the craft fair will have a 50/50 raffle. There's a lot of times that they'll have a 50/50 raffle. I've gone to many craft fairs, and they have them.
The school has 50/50 raffles and cash calendars
Yeah,
and all kinds of things.
yep.
Doesn't code enforcement usually sign off on these and then send them to us?
On these? No, we just always bring them to the selectmen.
If it has alcohol or beer, they do.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
And if it's a hawkers and peddlers, they go through that
the
process,
process.
land use and going to the police.
So they don't need our permission to do this?
No, I think that
Is
they
this just an
just need to get right, I think it just needs to get permission from the owner of the building, and then we have to, I think we have to assess it based on the people that are going to go in and out, whether a detail is necessary. Because the detail's necessary on Saturdays for farmer's market. If the craft fair is on a Saturday, we may want to have a detail.
Well, I'm just wondering why they made the proposal to us.
That was the wrong thing to do.
Well, it just seems, that they would go to the chief or the code enforcement.
Right.
Well, the other instance that we've had, there have been organizations that sell a limited number of tickets to win a car.
It's not a hawkers or peddlers.
And I know,
That's $1.
I think it kind of falls into that category.
Right here, dude.
Want to make sure they're not breaking any local ordinances.
Okay.
Having our Pet Expo on April 18th down there, the Rotary,
When are you having it?
the craft fair, April 18th. Where we do rabies shots, and there's going to be craft fair, there's going to be pony rides, there's going to be
50/50s?
probably
Okay.
It's a 50.
raffle.
You pay $5 and get tickets, and then they draw it, and you get half of the pot, and the other half goes to the charity.
We're going to have dog demonstrations. Police canines. So,
Is this a done deal? Do we have posters anywhere?
posters are going up shortly.
Okay. So what do we need to do to make this go away?
Say aye.
Just say yes, do it?
Yeah.
But we haven't sent it to the chief for his
The
determination
chief
of...
is,
Is the one that talked to the lady.
right,
Okay, so we're all set, so I make a motion.
so he needs to determine
No
whether or
problem,
not
go
that
ahead and
there has
do
to
your
be a detail. He's determined that it's an okay, legitimate business, but we have to send the chief back to make sure, where is the chief anyway?
Where is it? You're supposed to be here, what, 5:15?
All right,
Still got 2 minutes.
I got it covered.
We'll make it gone so we don't have to keep bringing it back.
We will ask him when he does come and he gives us a report, that we will ask him to talk with them, and the expectation of how many people will pass through there, they may need a detail, depending on the day, the time of year. Okay. He must love these "where are you" texts. Okay. We've settled on that. We all set for bidder? Okay. Dennis, you want to come up?
That's why I moved.
Well, come on right up front here.
He takes off his hat and you're sitting on the other side.
Oh, it makes a difference.
Dennis, can you kind of put that microphone towards you and Arthur, in between you and Arthur?
Okay, do you hear me now?
So what's up?
Well, we were asked to come here tonight. I think you asked specifically on the drainage at Bitter Lane. Okay,
What'd you find out?
well, what I propose, okay, and it's only an estimate because I've seen no site plans of what the establishment's gonna have. I think you did say last selectmen's meeting is 42,000 square feet.
Approximately 42,000, yep.
42.5?
It's 40,
45, okay. I don't know what they're gonna do with what their proposal is for the snow, in the snow area.
No, there's no site plan. They're gonna be limited to where they can put snow too.
Do they have are they gonna have like a detention pond?
There's no drainage plan. The conversation at the conservation meeting was, we did find out it's going to be, the drainage under the parking lot will be similar to what is Lowe's and Kohl's, so it'll be under
Okay.
the parking lot. There'll be drainage under it, running it through. There won't be sheet off.
The only possible side that I would see that would be feasible would be on the west side of Bitter Lane, which that would be the side of the MB driveway and the Agway driveway, okay? But there's sort of a problem, I'm assuming, because on the left-hand side of Bitter Lane, at the far end of the Bitter Lane, there is a fire hydrant there. So I'm assuming all their water runs on that side, okay?
On the far opposite side of MB, or the same?
Side is
MB.
Agway, okay, which would be your west side.
Okay, yep.
How deep that is, I can only assume that it would be 5 to 6 feet.
John Roque said that he would be able to supply us with a blueprint, probably from Ryan's, when the sewage easement and all that water easement was going in, so that's going to be critical to get that document.
Okay, to continue on, if they had some kind of retainment for their drainage,
Yep.
They'll have to be.
there could be, you could put the drainage on the west side.
Okay?
What I looked at was roughly, we've got about 435 feet of drainage. And I figured 15-inch pipe, 4 CBs, and the outlet end on the 4th CB would be an 18-inch pipe. But, here's the question after talking to you, Catherine. We were planning on draining the number 4 catch basin towards Route 3 into the south side of the sluway of the pond, which would be the brook that goes under the box culvert under Route 3.
The best management practices will not have us draining directly into a body of water before it goes into some sort of,
Filtration.
Filtration.
yeah.
What's the alternative there, then?
Well, I would...
Swales?
No,
Where do you
I
put
would
it?
say that you'd have to put a detention pond in there.
Yeah, you'll have to do something, and then
Before Ice Pond there?
before it goes
Before
into
it goes
any
into the
body of
brook
water.
After the dam of the pond,
Okay.
okay? There's not a large area there, okay, and I don't know what size detention pond you have to have for X number of gallons of water, okay? But we do have another problem there, okay? There is a sewer manhole on the east side of Bitter Lane, okay? Now, we came and we talked with Joanna, okay, to see if we could figure out what depth the sewer manhole was. When that was put in by a private individual.
Yep.
Okay? But if you look at where the sewer manhole is located, and you kind of go towards the Route 3, just on the Route 3 side, there is 2 sewer manholes there.
On Route 3?
On Route 3, that go underneath Route 3, over the slope, and I'm going to say down the bank into the railroad tracks to the Force Main, I would assume.
Oh, to the interceptor.
I'm
Wow.
thinking Bittern Lane went back to Auto Serve and underneath the west side parking lot, because the one going over the hill came in when the car wash went in. Du Bois put the car wash in is when we went
Yeah,
down over the hill.
right?
Bittern, I think, came out and had to go back toward the Walmart intersection.
Maybe that's why there's 2.
Yeah, but that would have had been pumped though, Peter, wouldn't it?
I don't know, well, the parking lot, that west side parking lot, we got like 30 to 40 feet of fill over our pipe. When they built it up for the parking lot, they added a ton of fill. Because we ended up asking Rick,
Audrey?
no, the septic design, Lapine,
Oh, Lapine, yeah.
just say, do we have a problem? And he's there, it had been like 3 or 4 years, he said, if it hasn't failed now, then most likely it won't, and we've never had a problem.
Okay.
Because we should have I forget if Du Bois brought a manhole out to about the entrance of the post office parking lot.
So it ties into the sewer along the road, Route 3.
Bittern, I think, goes, and it's this side of the Auto Serve building.
And the manhole that's on the east side of Bittern connects to that. The Route
I
3.
believe so.
Is that how far into Bittern Lane?
There's
There's 2.
sewer manholes
How close?
at the entrance to Bitter on Route 3 and 11. On the right-hand side as you turn in. When you go down Bitter Lane, it's just this side, on the right-hand side of Bitter Lane, from the entrance to MV's Tractor's driveway. It's off the roadway, probably,
It's in the grass or somewhere.
yeah, maybe 10 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why would
The
there
highway?
be 2 on
off
Route
the
3?
roadway, yes.
Where does, there's a sewer easement that comes through the backside of the bank on Sherwood. Is that going in or coming out?
On the back side of the bank? I would have thought the bank would go to Sherwood,
So that's
because
probably,
Rogers comes up right up Sherwood and shoots right straight across. That's where Bittern should drain into that line
well,
there.
it doesn't come all the way to the end of Sherwood. At least on the print that I've got. It takes a turn and goes behind the bank.
Also, too, I was wrong because I said there wasn't any catch basins on Bitter.
Bittern, yeah,
Well, there is.
okay,
As you turn into Bitter Lane, on the
Yes.
right-hand side,
yeah.
about 10 feet down, there is a catch basin. So, and there's a catch basin on Route 3 and 11,
Is that
just
on,
the right-hand side, just before you turn in, okay?
yeah,
So, I was assuming that catch basin 10 feet in on Bitter Lane,
connected to the one on the highway?
no. I thought they discharged that into the brook.
Oh, God, I hope not.
I was wrong. They did not.
Wait,
It's a dry sump. Okay?
What do you mean by that?
There's no discharge pipe. Water goes in and just disperses. There's no pipe going out of the catch basin.
Just like Hill Road. It's a hole in the ground with a grate.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah. And it's about a 5-footer. Good size. Yeah.
Okay.
But it does collect the water as it comes down the curb line off
Sewer
Route 3,
easement.
going
See
west. And right there, as you turn into Bitter Lane, on the right-hand side, there's 2 catch basins there. So that collects probably 95% of the water.
Right.
This other catch basin that's down in about 10 feet only probably takes what goes around the corner, which would be very minute.
So, your recommendation,
I can only give you suggestions because I don't know what the site plan is going to consist of. Okay?
So at this point, we need to widen sections of the road.
what's the widest part of the road? Did you say 24 or 26?
The widest part is 27.
Okay.
Okay? And that is this side of MB's entrance. Then it narrows in to 24 after their entrance. And it's 30 out at the Route 3 Bitter Lane entrance, curb to curb.
So it goes from 30 to 27 to 24.
27, 26, you know,
Yep.
estimate, you know? Yeah.
And I don't remember, what was your recommended lane width?
30.
Well, no, they've got 24 feet, that's...
How many lanes
and
you looking
12.
for? That's 2 lanes.
That's two
That's
lanes.
12 and 12.
12 and 12, correct.
All right,
Plus-
so we don't have to widen the road.
No, I would feel you don't have to.
But what about the part where it goes down to 16? You-
No, it goes out on the road, curb to curb with a radius, 30 feet. You go in 60, 70, 100 feet, okay? Before entrance to MB, that is 26 to 27 feet wide. After you go by their driveway, then it tapers back to 24,
Okay.
okay? And plus, there's room for a shoulder on the right-hand side going in, and they probably got a 2-foot shoulder.
Where's the sewer easement?
Got no room for a sidewalk?
On this, it's proposed. So this is proposed Sherwood.
You could put a
Here's the
sidewalk
proposed
there, Joe.
easement.
Where you plow the
Okay.
snow, there'd be room
Catherine.
beyond the sidewalk to plow the snow on Bittern Lane, and keep
Well,
the
that
sidewalk
could-
free.
That could create a problem depending on how far you went with the sidewalk.
Well, what were the plans that were presented at the Conservation Commission the other night?
Conceptual,
Okay.
the same, well,
Could we gauge from the conceptual of what's necessary or no?
no,
We have to have,
there's no drainage plans,
We
so
have
we
to
don't have
wait
any
until-
volume estimates. So I think we need to decide what changes need to be done to Bittern. We haven't even decided if we all think there should be a sidewalk. Do we need any culverts? Did you find any, of course, it's early, you may find something in the
Well,
spring.
My intention was to come from the gate,
Yes.
okay, in 110 feet, catch basin.
Are you going to,
Then you go from that catch basin, 115, to the back side of the driveway flare entrance to MB's driveway. Because their driveway comes down and it turns, and it kind of slopes, and a lot of the water goes off to the right-hand side, which that catch basin would pick that water up,
so your
Pipe-
sheet runoff from the road's what you're catching,
off in their driveway.
FMBs?
MB's driveway.
That's right.
okay? Then you'd go underneath the entrance of MB's driveway and go 100 feet to the back side of the entrance to Agway's driveway. Okay? And that slopes and it pitches this way. And we had a problem there before, if you remember, where it puddled, it iced over and stuff like that. That would collect that water there.
Okay.
Then from there, then I shot across the street and was gonna dump it into the brook, which is a considerable,
well, they're gauging about 150 cars an event, correct? Or is that a day? 150 cars an event?
I don't know, the traffic study is down in Dari's office, I haven't had a chance to look at it. And we talked about it at that meeting we all attended. Joe, you were there, right?
Well, they're planning on
I think-
about 150 parking spaces, and if they all get filled,
Oh, no, there's more than 150.
Well, it's about 300, right?
Yeah.
But they're planning 150 cars going in and out.
I think it was around 75 to 80 cars per, there's 3 fields.
3 fields, 60 cars,
20 per field.
20 for okay, so about 60 cars coming in and out.
Max would be about 60. And the parking that we put in was just because of the ratio of parking spaces to the size of the building.
Events would happen all day, so this would be ongoing all day. Every time the field is, the event's over, another event would start.
It would be probably in the morning during the week, and in the afternoons, and evenings during the week, and then all day Saturday and Sunday. Assuming we're, fully up and operating.
So you're looking at an event that would, I don't know how long they last, but then that would empty and then another group would come in.
Right.
So it would be constantly going back and forth.
So the last 100 feet needs a wear course, or does it need to be reclaimed at this point? What's up there, there's not much asphalt on it.
No, there isn't, no. I think it was 225 feet, I said. 225 feet by
Of asphalt?
4. Right.
Needs wear course.
And it I think it was around 53.
Yeah, it was
Before time.
$5,500 or something.
But I think, Joe, what is there now existing, I would probably put 2 inches of wear course, which would increase, I was figuring an inch. I would put 2 inches of wear course right on top of it. I wouldn't want to disturb the sub-base that is there, okay? Because you're only going a short distance, you're not doing the whole road,
Yeah,
okay?
I don't want to make this more than it needs to be.
No,
you know.
no, right. Yeah.
And I seem to be missing something. We were talking about drains, and I was wondering how it is that this project they're proposing increases the drainage issues on Bittern Lane. Or does it? I know we have issues
It's going
sometimes.
to increase the drainage problems, well,
Why?
right now, there's no drainage on Bitter Lane. So,
Yeah. And
But does
what's
this
it
project,
increasing, you know?
does this project
You're going to have runoff from their parking lot.
not if they do it right.
No,
You're
you'll
not supposed to have any kind of
Your sheet,
significant
if you go
runoff.
up to Lowe's and Kohl's, you'll see this sheet runoff.
I see that they do have runoff.
Right.
Don't get
And
me
that's
wrong,
an
but we're not
underground-
talking about massive rivers and what have you. Detention ponds worth of runoff, maybe.
No, where we had, 3 failures of the detention pond at Lowe's? At least 3. We had at least 3 failures of that detention pond
Doesn't that
behind
add-
Chili's.
The number of the
From Lowe's or from Chili's?
one where...
Lowe's and Kohl's. I don't know, there was at least 3. Some were from storm events, we had a sudden meltdown.
Right.
They weren't maintaining that thing either.
It was brand new. It was brand new. So,
But a lot of it's going to depend on what kind of swales they put in, how much grass area they're going to have off the slope, off in their parking lot, which is going to absorb a lot of the runoff. If you come to the edge of the parking lot and boom, with no slope whatsoever or no swale, then you're going to have a problem with runoff. But if they can create that, I don't think you'll have
A problem.
a problem. Okay? But like I said, I've seen no site plans or nothing, so I really don't know. This is only an estimate
Yeah.
of what I've got from you people,
Can we make a copy of that?
why don't you write us up a report that, why don't you write a report that
Well, to design that,
includes
yeah.
this
I know, but
and
I'd-
previous?
Yeah.
I think we need,
Joyce, can you make a copy
do
of
it.
his?
I think we need to
Design.
see some plans.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
hard to, we can make all sorts, yeah.
Right. And if there's minor,
Is that this, Dennis? The plan from the conservation meeting?
Sure, that'll help. But again, it's only conceptual because, you know, but it would help.
Yeah, we want to make sure, before we actually do all the plans, we want to sit with you guys and make sure that we're going to meet all the criteria that we
Criteria,
want.
yeah.
So this is where
is-
John, this is coming in Bittern Lane
yeah,
here.
yeah,
So this is where John was going to put all the detention, so I guess it's under here, and then you've got like swales and things here.
okay,
In our original plan, we were actually going to have a cement pad down here for showing cars, so we've taken that out. And this will all be grass in area.
okay.
And then from here to here, I think the setback is 20, but he's actually put the pavement line at 30, so there's
Okay,
10 feet there
okay.
as well.
Okay,
And-
but you are going to have a detention pond here.
I believe that's what he's planning
That's
to
the
do.
plan,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Was that your understanding when you, Catherine, from the meeting on Monday? You were
Catherine?
there too, weren't you?
Was it your understanding for the detention pond on Monday with the Conservation Commission, the conceptual?
It was my understanding that there would have to be
Yeah.
Right.
at least one.
So I think, and it was going to
Okay.
be
Okay,
putting it there. So I think, you
Well,
know,
it
as far
looks
as the
like it-
sheething, it would, I
the
don't think it'll fit
sheathing-
here. I think
the lights.
we have to protect here, right?
correct, into the
Yeah.
pond.
Yeah.
That's correct, yes, yes, yeah. Now, is this going to be grassed area?
Around
In
it?
the green?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
I mean, does it have to be grass? Can it be gravel part of it, or does it need,
It
what's,
can, yeah, either or.
either or, just
Yeah.
not non-permeable?
Right, that's
Okay.
correct, yes, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
That gives it penetration of sheathing off for the water to soak into the ground, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why don't I'm going to keep that copy, but I'll
Yes.
send you, I'll email you,
okay.
if I can get your email.
Highway at, Public Works at,
publicworks.org.
Tripping over cords?
Tripping over cords. Anyway,
Public Works at tiltonnh.org.
not thinking about them while I'm walking.
Driveway dimensions, these guys are way on. This week, if you guys want
Does he?
copies, I don't know if you have copies.
Is that a conceptual of the driveway,
No,
that
this is what's actually there.
what's right there now
Yeah.
existing? Can I have one of those?
Is that right?
You're right on.
Okay, all right.
Maybe a tenth of a
Although
foot here or there.
it says it's almost
Almost
32
32
feet at the
oh,
very
well,
point, but
I could have come
Copies.
up, I could have come down in here and you went up here.
I think I've got
Yeah, I
enough
don't-
for everyone.
I don't know
Oh.
where
Have them.
John pulled
How
these
many
from, but
is-
they must
she's
have
got
got some
one.
town
Yeah.
plans or
Yeah.
something.
Here. You want that?
No, I just want to make sure everybody has one. 1, 2, 3, 4, so I just need one.
All right. So, what's our next step now? Where do you want to go from there?
We need to make a list of what needs to be done there. So we've got drainage, what road doesn't need to be widened. Do we need a sidewalk going down there? And then we need to decide if we're going to accept that proposal to change the intersection of Bittern Lane or Street. Welcome.
One question, I guess.
Does the board have is this the proposal to change, is this the proposal to change Route 3?
It's the one.
Intersection Improvement Plan, Route 3 Bittern Lane. Is
There
this the
was
latest?
an incorrect one floating around.
This is 8/27/14. Is that the latest?
Don't know.
I don't think there was any, there was only one that we submitted.
Okay.
Yeah, but John Roque sent me a copy, which I copied out, and then a couple of days later, discovered an hour later, he sent me another email saying, oh, I sent you the wrong copy.
Oh, okay.
Does the board have a larger view of this, or is it this the only size we have?
I think that's the only size we have.
Does Dari have one downstairs?
I think you already have the large one downstairs with
We can borrow it for the,
the driveway permit.
I just wanted to make sure it was the right way, right one.
And I do have,
Probably has the
If we're going to make decisions, I want to have the right information that we have now.
right one,
All right.
probably does.
I guess my question to the board is, if you want to put a sidewalk in, it would have to be on the east side of Bitter Lane, correct?
Is
There's
there,
no room on the west side, I don't believe.
No, there isn't, because
On
that's
the-
where the proposed drainage is going,
right,
on the left side. On the
Yeah.
right side, that's where the sidewalk would be, and how far would the sidewalk go?
How big's our right of way?
That it could take,
See, there's an issue there, maybe.
but my
I don't know how
question
big
is,
the right of
okay,
way
what is it, 400?
So it doesn't make any sense to put the sidewalk on the east side, does it? I know we're limited to space, but that means you're gonna have, instead of having people come up and then just turn down Bitter Lane, they're gonna have to come up and cross
Yeah.
Bitter Lane and then walk down the sidewalk.
right.
Well, if
You don't
there's
want-
no room
you
on the
don't want a
left,
sidewalk put over your drainage,
No.
no. And I don't think you have,
But you're talking about catch basins, and they did that on Silver Lake Road, which is not pretty, but they did it.
it's not, it's a son of a gun if there's a problem.
Are most of the people that are attending these events, will they come by vehicle or will they be walking, riding? That's the question to ask. I've never had a sports center in my town, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I'm
So-
thinking of its accessibility to the local kids. If they had an event there, they
How many miles?
they could literally walk from the high school.
How many miles is it from the high school?
Probably about 3,
2.5, 3.
2.5, 3 miles to the high school, if that.
If that, I'm 4 miles.
15 minutes on a bike, 20 minutes on a bike,
Yeah.
tops.
You don't ride bikes on the sidewalks everywhere.
Not on the sidewalks, but in the,
They can ride them in the
they
road.
can't ride them on the sidewalks in the downtown area. Up here, they, past the tracks they can. From railroad track to railroad track, they're not allowed to skateboards or catch them.
But another thing that we have to consider is that is still a town road,
Yep.
and when we plow it, now when we plow it, we only plow in maybe 10 feet beyond MB's driveway, and we discharge the snow in the open area there beside the pond. If you're gonna put a sidewalk in, okay, where are we gonna unload the snow? From plowing in on.
So you're telling me right at the very end is the actual opening to where their facility's going to be?
Yes, it is.
So can there be an outlet that you just go right down the road and just boom, like, Maple Court, a dead end, just go straight up?
If there's an area off to the right side,
It would be off to the left,
it couldn't be off the left because you got that fire hydrant right there,
right at the end?
right at the very end.
There's some room on the right, depending,
There is room on the right, but there's a lot of trees that would have to be cleared.
and a potential sidewalk.
Yeah, and you gotta have a break in your sidewalk, Joe, I can't jump the curb, right?
Not rightly, no.
Right, right.
You could,
Yeah, you could, but you may have some major repairs.
So what kind of, to do that existing with the 24 feet, what kind of truck are you going to bring in there to do snow plowing?
It's a six-wheeler, yes.
Okay,
The one that plows,
not the wing, though.
he has a wing on, of course he did, sure, yeah.
Would you have room, though?
for a wing, sure.
Yeah.
Got room now.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty snug at one end.
Roads are 12 feet, with sidewalks right to it, granite curb,
Okay.
yeah.
Some of those roads seem like they're barely that.
Yeah.
I think it's really something to think about, Catherine, because, our decision impacts 10 years from now, or, 15 years from now, when you expand and hopefully, and go forward, and it really becomes a very well-used facility. We have to really make that decision based on, yeah.
If If you're looking at it from the point of view of a lot of traffic, it would be helpful to us if we expanded, if we could make additional add-ons at that time.
To the roadway?
Yeah, no, I don't mean to front-load it. I'm saying, right now existing in the 44 square feet, if you're having, events, let's say every couple of hours, and there's 60 coming in, 60 coming out, and you're going to have a mixture of people walking, riding, and driving in and out there. That's something to think about, because now we have to protect everyone in there, whether it be the sidewalk.
I haven't had any experience with
They've always been out, though. I mean, if you go down to Bow, they have to drive to them, because it's not near enough. We have a school right here that's even less than 2 miles from it, and the high school is probably about 2.5 miles, and then the middle school is the same place as that.
In the prep school?
And then we have Tilton Prep, which is right here, behind us.
Be part of the facility on a contract basis, I talked to some of the riders.
No, but if you're going to have teams that play, other than from the school district, you could have people, we're not just talking students, you could have people from in town walking up there.
You're definitely from in town, I'm just talking about the prep schools.
Right.
And you could have students from the prep school on those teams.
On Sunday,
I know, because 2 of them were on my son's team in Bow for quite a few years.
on Sunday nights, we have concerts out here. And sometimes, depending on the band that's playing here, the parking is, it's atrocious. They park all the way up to the municipal parking, and then they walk down. Or they park Main Street, and then they walk over. Sometimes there's, 150, 200 people out there. We didn't expect to, on a Sunday night to say, wow. It is great for the town, and they come from all over. Some people walk down there, some people ride their bikes there. We have, so I guess that's what I'm thinking. And also, the bike trail's right behind there. It comes out just below there. So, right across the street from the PD is where the Winnipesaukee River Trail is. Yeah, so
That is the current.
a lot to think about. I think our next step is to look at, you can look at the conceptual with the detention pond and so on, and it's hard to look at conceptuals. When, are you going back to the planning board?
Not,
We should meet and have a workshop on this, I know.
we should do something. Also, I spoke to John, one of the problems with these prints is the pond and the brook are not in these. We have to know how this is going to affect the pond. How close is this going to be? I mean, when I drive by there, I look, and there's quite a drop-off between, because there's a guardrail there, what is there now existing, the edge of the sidewalk, down to the pond. So I'm trying to picture how that's going to work to move that into the pond. Going to have to be some fill. The intersection. Yeah.
Because it goes down.
So we should probably meet and have a conversation. And
I think if it,
I think we need to know if a sidewalk's going in there. And I think we need to discuss primarily the intersection, because you really can't move forward unless you know which way we're going to go on that intersection,
this is what's holding it up right now.
basically.
Okay.
And on the plan, it should show where we can dump our snow at the end of the road. Because while you were over there getting the things, if you put a sidewalk...
I heard you.
Yeah.
I was
I
listening.
have no place to put the snow.
Okay.
Dennis, what if we widen the road for the sidewalk and painted a line to sort of designate where the road ends and the sidewalk so that it's the same elevation? Does that help you on the snow? So there's no curb?
Definitely. As long as you can jump over
Right, yeah.
and push it off.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
We don't need.
What if you had a sidewalk sort of like Cedar Street has, with the paint, just the paint?
That's what Peter just said.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand.
He's
You
in
said
the back
elevation,
Okay.
you threw me off with the elevation.
Okay, sorry.
So the elevation doesn't change.
That would be fine. But we still need a place to get rid of the snow, even with the sidewalk elevation the same as the edge of the pavement.
Well, perhaps we could talk to the applicant, and they may consider allowing us to have an area by their driveway, maybe off to the west side where we could put snow.
Now you gotta think about, okay,
As long as there's no wetlands.
because you're going on somebody else's property.
Just like we store our snow on somebody else's property.
We have an
We
agreement.
we have an agreement.
Oh, okay.
If we have an agreement going
With them?
forward, exactly, right, like we do with Tuscan properties, we have an agreement.
Is that a possibility?
What is the board,
Engineer about it.
yeah,
But it's a possibility.
on the west side, because you're mostly going to go on the other side, right?
I think there's a swale that comes down on the side.
Right, yeah. Yep.
So this there's two possibilities for snow storage.
Yep, yep.
Either Monday or Tuesday.
Generally, what we do is we'll plow in, we'll back
Tuesday night's planning
back up
board.
to MB, back into
What does the board
gate,
feel about
and push
meeting
out,
either
take the
Monday
remaining
or
12 feet
when-
on the
maybe
right-hand
Wednesday night
side,
and
right up
just
around
doing Bittern
on
Lane?
83. Yeah.
As long as it's a noticed meeting, you bet.
All right,
Monday?
Monday or Wednesday, what's preference?
Doesn't matter,
Monday.
4:30.
Monday.
Parks
Gives
is,
That gives us a little more time in the week if we need to do something else.
Parks isn't until next
Wednesday,
month
I
now.
love it. I'm starting a new cooking class. It's going to be on Wednesdays. I got them to change.
Okay. So Tuesday is a planning board, so
Yeah, the 24th.
what time? What's earliest
Monday?
for you?
I'm good on Monday.
4:30-ish probably. Maybe a little bit earlier. I'm coming to...
John can't make it before
Well,
4:45,
that's why, so-
4:30.
Yeah.
We're going to try to make a special meeting to accommodate 4:45.
Right in the field.
Monday,
Gail,
Monday, 23rd?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm free.
So everyone can make 4:45 on Monday evening, and this will be we have to notice it, just for Bittern Lane. That's all we're talking about. No special appointments or anything. Don't add anything to it.
No payroll, nothing.
Nothing.
Nada.
All right. So, Paula, can you get as much information as you can to us? And then, board, can we all make a point to go out and walk it so we know what we're looking at? And then when John comes, we'll fill him in. The 23rd.
If you could get him to draw the pond
I'll harass
before Monday, because it's almost fruitless to meet without the pond.
That would be crucial to us.
So he's got tomorrow and Monday,
I mean,
unless he wants to work on the weekend.
We're trying to get us, yeah.
coming Monday.
Yeah.
It's this coming Monday, so if, it's crucial. I mean, we're trying to fit in an extra meeting just for bidder.
We greatly appreciate that, so we'll do everything in our power to have you on.
That plan is upon the more detail on the
Yep.
I didn't hear.
More detail on the drainage.
As much as you can give us.
That would help. And then we
Most
can,
importantly is the impact from the intersection, I think. I think that, it sounds like the road stuff is probably doable.
I'd be interested to see what the traffic study says.
Yeah, there is a traffic
Said
study.
We
there's
do-
no problem.
We do have a traffic
seen
study.
Just like there's no problem
I've
with the
touched it.
farmer's
do you
market.
remember what
You
the
don't have
traffic
to
study
tell
said for
me.
cars coming in and out?
That's my objection.
Okay.
He based
Totally.
he based it on
50 years' worth of practical experience here.
20 cars.
So, okay.
It'd be interesting to see what he used for a base for the normal traffic there.
I know they did, it was at a time of year when the farmer's market was on.
Okay.
I think he did it during,
If he did it during March, it's probably not.
I think he did it during August, because
Because you have to consider too,
July is peak.
right, you have to consider too that facility is up for sale too.
well, I know that the farmer's market is temporary. but
Yes, that is a temporary situation. They moved to Tanger in the summer.
yes, I know
Right. And he's very gracious about allowing nonprofits to have the craft fairs there and things like that, which is not a huge impact. Like, it's not anywhere near the impact that the farmer's market brings.
it's just so condensed.
Yep. Okay. Well, if you can get that as much as you can, Board of Selectmen at tiltonnh.org and Public Works.
And Peter, do you need a copy of
No, there's one downstairs.
Well,
We have one here on the
we do have one downstairs, yep.
that on a PDF, so I can shoot it to
Okay,
Oh, yeah, that'd be
that's
great.
even better.
If it's that easy, send
Yep.
it, please.
Have them send it to admin assist, any documentation that way.
Can you copy admin assist at tiltonnh.org? And that way our assistant will get all the information and,
You can make copies and do whatever you need, and we'll have it for the file.
Shall these gentlemen be in attendance on Monday?
absolutely.
At least it's earlier.
Just didn't want to forget anything.
See?
Absolutely. We're not going to do any planning without you.
Could you guys confirm the time again?
4:45,
Oh,
That's-
4:30.
the earliest that John can make it is 4:30, 4:45. I just picked that.
Riding the fuel pump works.
There's always gathering time.
You'll have a new one before the end of
Okay.
this.
His fuel pump. That's what he came told. Okay,
That hurt.
moving right along, do you want to bring up the ordinance? And I would like to do a 5-minute non-public, if we could, with Dennis and Arthur, after we talk about the dog ordinance. So,
The dog ordinance?
yes,
I have a couple questions myself.
with Dennis and Arthur, okay. The, last week, there was, after the snow was gone, literally, Main Street was covered with things that we didn't want it covered with. And last year, I know personally, I knocked on every door down there on the businesses and asked them to keep a watch out for folks that are walking their dogs and not picking up after them. And nobody came forward, but they kept complaining to us that dogs are defecating on the sidewalk and nobody's picking up after them. And it's not fair to everyone that's down there or has to, and it's not fair to you folks, but someone has to pick it up. And we were grateful last week that you went, but if you walk down there today, it looks like you never went down Friday to pick it up. So something has to give.
Now, we
So-
have an ordinance against leaving your dog's business
Yes.
behind as you walk your dog, right?
It's a $25 fine for the first offense, 50 the second, and I think it's 100 the third.
So my next question is directed at the chief of police. Chief, how many dogs defecating on the side of the road tickets have we written in the last 12 months?
I
Zero.
can tell you, we checked the log, and we've only had 2 calls on it in the last year and a half, and one was Patricia Ann, and the other one was Dunlop Drive. And the captain checked the entire log system, and I read them all the time, so no one's calling us, is what I'm saying, and if we don't know about it, we can't fix it. If they call us and we go down and someone's like, I saw Mrs. Jones' dog do this, as long as we can get a statement from her, we can summons the owner. And so I talked with the supervisors about it. Obviously, if it comes up, we're going to deal with it the way it needs to be dealt with. And we're going to have the explorers notice people that have dogs, pass out flyers, say, just to make you aware, we do have an ordinance, and put some signage down there and do what we can on that end. But we do need people to call, and that's what we're going to tell them to do, Joe.
Take a snapshot, world of technology.
Yeah, that's usable, so.
Is it possible to have like a explorer patrol? They walk down one side of the street in glad hand and represent the town of Tilton in a sparkling way, and then they cross over and they come back the other way. Just having a presence. Now, I'm not suggesting that we put an officer downtown up in the second floor, one of the buildings with a secret camera, but we have this ordinance, and some people obviously have just got no sense of decorum or anything else.
Do our cameras reach over to the parking lot right here that's set back the Joanne Oliver's building?
When the awnings are up, no. Yeah, that's something we talked about, trying to fix that. But that's what I thought.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah. I know that I think we're up to like 10 explorers now, and they're eager to get downtown and do just what Joe said. That's one of
That's a good thing.
Yeah, they're
But
looking forward to it.
it's like from,
Yay.
it's not downtown, it's like from the barber shop on this side towards Town Hall.
Well, if we police one part, they'll move to the other part. It's like crack dealers, you know?
And the downtown, yes, we have a problem there, but nowhere near the problem we have on the island.
I totally agree with you on that one. Yeah.
And I think you're well aware of what happens on the island, especially when you're over there.
Trying to sit for a concert,
There should
right?
be no dogs allowed on that island.
Okay, all right.
No dogs.
Okay, so what we did, okay, is we looked at the signage. Correct, Arthur?
Yes, I did.
Doesn't say no dogs,
It does not say no dogs.
no unleashed dogs.
No unleashed dogs.
Right.
The only,
It
go
says-
right ahead, you take care of this, Arthur.
I went down to every, to the park, like Vest Pocket Park, no dogs allowed, 2 signs, okay?
In Best Pocket Park, no dogs?
No dogs
Okay.
allowed, it said. And then I go to the island, and it says, pets must be leashed, and you pick up after your pet, and bag it and put it in the receptacle.
Do we have any of those doggy scooper things?
Doggy
They have them
bags?
all over the place. They're like a little dispenser and it's a bag or something and
They
you...
walk away with them.
Yeah,
No, we don't have any.
no.
We're not doing,
We don't have any
I
bags
wouldn't
put
be
out.
in favor of that.
So there are none currently, okay.
No.
It's the same at Riverfront, pets must be leashed, pick up, and the same at Buffalo Park as well. I went up and read that, wrote that all down too.
I can't hear you. Which park?
Buffalo.
Buffalo,
Oh, Buffalo Park.
Buffalo Park, yes.
The island last year,
But it's not
and
just a,
Allison and her family spent an hour prior to the concert, and then the chief, we couldn't even sit. Back a certain point where the the grill is, you couldn't even sit under the trees. It was just sad, real sad.
And the problem, okay, is when you're mowing, not so much when you're riding on the lawnmower, but when you're weed whacking, it's all over you. Yeah, people can laugh, but,
Yeah, but not if you're doing
it's
it.
not funny if you're doing it.
Not laughing.
There is strictly a problem.
Right.
Has to be addressed, or it's gonna get way out of control.
Sounds like it is out of control,
It
sort
is
of.
out of control. This ordinance has been in effect since 2008. And we haven't yet given a ticket.
Since 2008?
May I interject for a moment? The issue that you're going to run into more than likely is when you start talking about issuing someone a summons for the dog that is, unless the officer witnesses it, you have to have somebody who's willing, a witness, willing to fill out a statement, then that witness is going to be required to testify, which means that person, that business owner, whoever it is, you have to take time out of work. When we explain that to them. And the reality is if the officer doesn't witness it, and that person doesn't want to testify, we don't have anything to testify to because it's hearsay evidence once you get on the stand. The other thing is you talk, because it doesn't happen in the officer's presence, the officer has to make sure that he has probable cause that person was the person who had that dog, that was in control of the dog when the dog defecated, and then you have to swear to it and do basically a warrant, just like if any other crime that happens. It's not something that we can just walk up and give someone a ticket that violates the laws of justice. So there's a huge process that goes through. It's not just we can't arbitrarily hand a ticket out. There has to be an investigation. There has to be somebody who's willing to witness crime and they agree to report. And then the officer has to do the follow-up as far as drafting a letter to the subject's arrest, having the JP sign them or a judge, and then issuing the person's summons. So there's a lot more to it than just being able to do something. That's, I just wanted the educational portion. I still agree that if there's something that we can do as a law enforcement agency, obviously, if you want to supervise, we're going to do it. But there's a few things that it's not flat. I wish it was easier, but the New Hampshire Constitution is that as it is.
Is video acceptable?
He just told me that he couldn't enforce the
If
ordinance.
you have something like
Says he
that,
can.
other evidence like that,
Could have a witness.
Gotta actually see them or have somebody that's willing to go to court and swear. And probably they don't get seen by the officers very much.
No, of course not. As soon as they see an
There
officer
should not be
down.
dogs allowed on the island.
I don't want to be considered the black cloud. I was
Yeah.
No, it is what it is. I mean, that's a pretty good description of it, I would think.
When you have the explorers pass out the flyers, will you have them go up to Tilton School too?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of teachers that walk their dogs around. Not saying that they're, but it's, if you're gonna do it for everyone, then,
Yeah, no, we have some ideas, we're gonna put some educational things in place.
Landlords, nothing says what the town can do. Landlords, I would assume, if the landlords are allowing their tenants to have dogs, and then, their tenants being found to be in violation of such, even if we don't have a problem cause, I don't know if the town is able to take action against the landlord.
No. I think that's kind of a civil rights thing.
trust
there.
me, because then the landlords would say no dogs.
Anything outside the box.
That'd be,
Well, they charge a
Made me
security deposit for animals, right, in these places. Why can't the town charge
No.
a security deposit?
I as a landlord don't charge a security deposit for the
Cool.
dog. I charge it for the owner.
The owner, for damages.
Some people charge, some places charge a deposit if you have pets. That's the only way they'll allow them.
We have the Pet Expo coming up April 18th at the Agway Building, and all of the explorers there will be able to.
On that subject? Good, all right.
We have a few things.
All right.
Responsible
In the
owners.
meantime, just people have to call us, that starts the ball rolling, you know?
Now, aren't you glad you stayed for this?
Learned more about food than I knew before.
I'm just gonna share this with you. There was a town that had such an issue that they actually started collecting the poo, taking DNA samples.
Pittsburgh, Maryland, and I just looked it up.
I don't know what it costs, but hey, throwing it out.
That must be one heck of a fine to pay that cost.
Ouch. That's pretty funny.
That would solve it, though.
Maybe if we raise
Good night.
awareness, it'll put some peer pressure on these people. I don't know.
What if you put signs leading to the island park, video cameras in use? And if you purchase the fake ones that just have the blinking light, it may deter
Let's not
some.
purchase the fake one, just put out some,
Get-
yeah,
We can get game cameras, well, because otherwise,
have them.
what,
We even have a poll, right? All right,
Met the government and he is us.
And who are you gonna pay to review all that film to look for dogs
Good
going?
God.
I thought
No.
I thought you
I'll sit
do,
and watch it.
No.
you do that for Riverfront, don't you?
Right.
No.
Hey, here he is.
Not on,
Is that part of the health officers?
no, but you called me specifically.
Yep.
Second.
I go, yeah, as pro.
I think it is in your job description.
I'm saying about sitting
Only at
down,
home.
looking at
Right.
movies.
I get disturbed, okay, when
You are disturbed.
mainly the merchants on the main street are complaining about this.
Yes.
Okay? Mm-hmm. And you can't tell me that they don't physically see
They do.
They
some
do.
of these patrons not picking up
They
after the
do.
dog.
They've given me names.
But they don't want to get involved. All they want to do is call the office. The office will call highway and take care of it. But that's a problem with me, you know?
Well, we're starting to do something. I'm not sure what we can rightly do to stop it, but I'd love to see it stop. I think it's just rude and nasty, and
Yeah.
having a dog downtown is a responsibility you gotta take care of, pardon me, take care of.
Yeah.
I don't wanna see anybody else's dog crap.
No.
All right. Are we all done talking about dogs and...
So, the solution is, we're going to look into it.
We're gonna,
Notify storefront people of the procedures that, how the police can only obtain a person if he does it,
there's gonna be a table at the Pet Expo
and we need help from the merchant
identifying.
identifying the people that are doing it.
And highway will clean up twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall. You're too busy the rest of the time.
We do that anyway.
No, I know.
Yeah. We do around the flower beds in the spring.
Sure.
And the trees, but,
You don't have time to be there weekly.
no.
Never mind weekly, daily.
Yeah.
All right. At this time, I'm gonna take a 5-minute non-public. I want you to stay here. Rick, would you mind if you just skipped out for about 5 minutes? Make a motion to go into non-public as per RSA 91A:3, personnel. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
It's 5 yeses.
And we're the time being 6:24.
Did you hear that?
4:45 Monday in the
Thank you.
I
Just
still have
about
a
good as
question,
mine.
and I'd like to make a motion to seal the minutes
Just
of the
bitter.
public session as they pertain to personnel permanently, not personally, permanently. Anybody?
Second.
All those in favor?
I'm thinking.
Aye. Well,
There
personnel,
was no
yes.
discussion. Well, some personnel is not personnel, really. This wasn't really talking about well, okay, yes.
There was some talk about, well, never mind.
All right, ask you a question.
Well, it doesn't say just personnel, it's specific.
Did
So
we,
there was no disciplinary action, there was no criticism, it was just a changing of the guards. That may or may not fall under 91A as it
Hey,
pertains to
I'm all
personnel.
for it. You wanna release it? I'm good with that.
I think it's safer that we review 91A and then release it if we find that it does not follow the criteria.
Okay,
Personally, that's just my opinion.
we'll do it that way.
I don't
What's your
think
question?
Anything, I just automatically do it nowadays. Catherine's right, and there's nothing that happened there that was non-public.
Let's
I don't
review the
think-
91A first and
See
then
what it
see.
says.
Okay.
Yep.
So I have questions.
You have more?
Oh, now it's plural.
No, Mike, I have two questions. Number one is the town hall car. My understanding is it just barely passed inspection. Is that correct, Arthur?
Yeah, I made rocker panels.
Cool.
Welded them all in. Got it so it passed. There was a big rock hole in it and put the shield back on. And yeah, I'd run it, you'd get another year out of it, but I would think I'd get another.
Is the car safe to drive?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Frame's good, right?
Once he,
No holes?
If someone else has another car that they're getting rid of, if that car is better than what you have, and then let's take that car and get rid of that rest of them.
Perfecto. Okay. Have you assessed the condition of the snow dump up behind the veterans home? Is it littered with swag up there and garbage, or, I mean, what does it look like up there?
Dog poo?
Myself,
Bound to be some.
honestly say that, no, I haven't been up.
And I haven't either, and I don't think they're gonna see anything much before probably another 2 months.
Is it
Well,
going
if you
to
have, if
gonna
we
be
have
a
a
while
big
yet.
enough rain and a sudden enough thaw, all that stuff, swag will go down into the brook. Won't have to worry about it.
That brook's a ways away yet.
Doesn't take much, it's all downhill from there.
It is all downhill from there. There's no doubt about that. And my last thing is a plan for when, I know we're still early on in this, but when will we be sweeping the streets in Tilton? There's a lot of sand out there. We had a lot of snow. We did a lot of sanding. And now there's sand everywhere. All over the roads.
What are they calling for Saturday or Sunday, Joe?
They're talking
Weather.
about a little snow. I'm not talking about this week. I'm talking about what's the plan. We must have a plan. We have in years past. I just wanted to make sure
We usually
that-
wait until after
The snow,
chance of snow, so we aren't sweeping up sand after sand after sand after sand.
mud.
Okay, and I understand all that.
I will answer that question, okay? Normally, the end of March, 1st of April, and it's probably gonna be after the 1st of April,
Yep.
okay?
Yeah, the way we've been going.
We come in, okay, we get bids, 3 bids on sweeping, okay? The board reviews the bids, okay? And then we pick a contractor to do the bids. In the past couple of years, we've had Mike Rabbit do it, okay? I have got a quote from him already. I've got one quote from Alan Rule, and I'm gonna get a quote from Felix.
Who does the state? Or do they have their own?
They have
We do.
Avery out of Woodstock,
Yeah?
okay?
Any chance of piggybacking and getting a deal? That's no?
No. Charges travel, on pay travel.
He'll be here anyway, though.
I don't think he has a high lift dump, okay? Which we do,
Yep.
okay? That doesn't let the broom sweeper travel to dump. He dumps in our trucks, continues on sweeping, okay?
Where do we dump that sand?
Up in the yard. Yeah.
So we use it again as much as we can.
We use it as fill.
It's full of garbage.
Do not use it and put it back in the sand bin and run through the spreader.
Full of garbage.
You can't screen it?
It'd be
I wanted to read screen, yeah, we could,
That'd be
yeah.
littering.
But generally, Joe, the middle of April, okay, I will come in and give you catch basins, brooming, what we need, what we got for asphalt prices, all of that, and we go through the whole thing, and then pretty much all set with the board on what the prices are, and you people approve it, and I'm out the door.
I've been picking up the garbage when I see it around Town Hall, and that's the biggest thing this time of year.
It appears.
So if anybody's seizing it, yeah, pick it up. Yeah, out front especially, we have somebody sitting out front enjoying cigarettes. Ba-ding, 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 ba-ding.
All right.
We have our town administrator with a hand
The
up.
flag out front is stuck to a tree. The wind blew it, did you see it, the state flag?
No?
It was ripped, and part of it is kind of wrapped around the tree branch out front.
This is not working.
We gotta fix that.
This is just not working.
My suggestion would be to take the flags, mount them
Over here.
wherever, beside the doors, bring them in, take them out, put them in. The only problem is when the wind blows, if they're too close to the walkway, well, you might get slapped in the face.
Don't we have enough
My old
space on
glory, I
either
could
side of the
take-
kiosk, between the kiosk and the dumpster, to put those signs, flags?
Between the kiosk and the dumpster?
Yeah, I mean the bulkhead. Sorry, I'm thinking dumpster. There was garbage all across the street.
We do, I think we just get smaller flags.
No, that's
No,
not going to work.
It's not gonna work.
The small
poles-
flags will rip more easily, too.
If they're mounted on the side?
Yep. Oh, we got to move on. Let's take up flags another time.
Okay, thank you.
You
If we can't get out and fix them.
talk to Joyce about flags, please, and find a solution for us somewhere along the line.
Count of three.
The-
And I probably got more, but there'll be time.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Else we
Well-
need is actual flagpoles.
All right. We've shifted things around because we,
We have Rick Silverberg sitting downstairs.
yes, now we have Rick downstairs. So do we want to just continue with the Winnipesaukee and then we'll go to the beginning and do the committees and things?
Sure.
All right, let's get
It's
Rick.
not fair to him to
Yeah.
have to wait another 45 minutes.
I agree. Want to get Rick? Should have told Dennis to.
I purposely didn't invite him, he just is anxious to be here, so I didn't,
Sounds like he's coming.
so.
I had
I
a
know
tow
he's-
truck drop me off out front. Dropped the car off.
That was so bad.
It was the fuel pump.
Oh, that's
I thought
painful.
he ran out of gas. It was like,
There aren't many Band-Aids for a fuel pump.
it's under the rear seat.
It was late in the day when I emailed the
kind of car is
memorandum of
All cars
understanding
are
to the
behind
board.
the rear seat now.
Did you get a chance to print them
No,
out?
I'm just used to tracks.
So sorry, Rick. No. Yeah,
What have you got?
Tim and I tweaked it a little more,
which is the,
What have you got?
the memorandum of understanding.
no, I have not had time, but we'll go over the changes.
Actually, I think Gail
Is this the,
had me read this.
One that I added,
are in our books?
Do you have the new,
yes, it's in your book.
do you have the new rail trail?
The new rail trail?
Well,
Is this
the
it, Joyce?
revised rail trail?
Yep.
Couple of changes in it.
Yes, and when we're ready to talk about that, I'll explain. I called Glenn, after we spoke this morning, I called Glenn again. I said, I don't know, Glenn, what do you want to do about
I don't know which ones of these you've got.
1.4? I talked to Catherine about that, and
This goes
he
with
said,
it too.
call Tom Jameson. So he called Tom Jameson. Tom Jameson called Brian Lombard. Brian Lombard
trail
called
agreement.
Tom called Glenn called me back.
Thank you.
So I highlighted in this agreement, what I'm referring to is section 1.4, where it says Tilton will assume the cost of temporary removal, restoration, relocation, and investment of the recreational trail in the event the track repairs or additional track installations requires such modifications. Verbally, he said that would only happen if we were going in and doing trail reconstruction such that we had to go over and remove their tracks.
But again, that's not what it says.
I know. So I highlighted that. Put Northfield, put Tilton back in place of Northfield. And I've also highlighted the section that you and I had discussed with Brian Lombard on Wednesday.
Do we have the latest documents here so that we can see? This is the one I've got?
Yes. And then Catherine asked,
Well, you have the memorandum of understanding, where she's talking about is the rail trail,
Do we have
which
those?
created this document.
okay,
Wait,
are you ready for that one?
I'm ready for all three. I want to see all three before we sign them, if they're ready for signing.
But the language that changed 3.3 didn't get, I mean, they agreed to that change.
Thank you.
They put it in.
Right, but we're still not happy with it.
Well, it's better than it was.
Oh, you gave me yours.
1.4 remains an issue.
Right.
Oh, this is the interceptor. I'm still looking for the rail trail.
I got the rail trail.
I have a memorandum of understanding, and I have an interceptor sewer trail agreement.
I got the rail trail.
I don't have a rail trail.
I think I have two.
Do you have a rail trail?
Got the,
That's an old one, though. If you got it
I've got nothing
stapled,
newer than this.
got the rail trail.
He's got a rail trail.
just handed you out
This is
one.
a new rail trail.
Well,
have an
this is the
interceptor.
sewer. This is rail trail, this is the sewer.
Well, I got
This is the
interceptor from you.
MOU.
You have an interceptor?
Should I give
I
it
need an
back?
interceptor.
You have an interceptor?
I now have all
I
three.
have all sorts of interceptors.
Okay, I didn't have this.
I don't know which is the newest
Just the one she's handing out is the very newest one.
Okay, then I don't
She
need
just
any of
gave me one with a clip, now I've got it with a staple.
One is an interceptor.
Interceptor sewer trail agreement.
Oh, sorry.
So, I got that. That was no.
Oh, you did get that one.
Yeah.
interceptors.
All right, which one first?
Well, you should look at the rail trail first, because, and the interceptor next, and then the MOU, because these two documents were created, which made the MOU necessary.
This and this.
So we don't have a rail trail.
That's the rail trail I just gave you. Rail trail.
Rail trail, okay, all right.
That's from last week.
So 1.4, I mean, it's specific to an act. But if the language in the MOU was acceptable,
Trail.
then there is no cost to the town of Tilton. So,
Right. Does one hinge upon the other?
well, these are the town of Tilton's direct liabilities, financial responsibilities. The Winnipesaukee Trail Association always agreed to take those upon themselves.
Our responsibilities,
So,
whatever.
and the reason, and
whatever
just for
these
Peters, for maybe, well, you and I were there, but the reason the state would not give these responsibilities to the trail is because they're not a municipal entity. They assume the town of Tilton's going to be here for a while longer. So that's why these two agreements were made directly with the towns and not the Trail Association. So to relieve us of those obligations, the financial obligations of the Winnipesaukee Trail Association, we created the MOU. So you see how they hinge upon one another. And language was added to the MOU. Oh my gosh. Well, you can see it in the very first paragraph, down near the bottom of it. In regards to the responsibility for post-construction maintenance, repair, and reconstruction, and other financial costs associated with the provisions in the above referenced projects located within the portions of the New Hampshire DOT Railroad right-of-way. And then I believe it's repeated, is it in the last, where is it repeated again, Joyce? I forgot. Too many miles.
Number 1.
It's on page 2, number 1. Shall pay all costs associated with the provisions pertaining to Tilton's responsibilities outlined in the four agreements referenced above, in addition to the cost to manage, maintain, repair, and reconstruct the recreational trail. So you can see that WRTA is assuming all those financial responsibilities for us, if you will.
Also for Peter and Joe and John that weren't here before, the town had already signed an agreement for Phase 2, signed a rail trail agreement and a sewer intercept agreement for Phase 2.
I've seen them.
And those two agreements are identical to these.
No, they're not.
Well, yeah,
Okay, all
No,
right.
no.
not yet, but that's why I highlighted the two sections, because those are the differences. So the town has entered into those agreements. So now that we're doing Phase 2A, the sewer project and the railroad wants new agreements for 2A. So based upon the discussion we had last week, it was just going to be easier, instead of having 6 agreements, to try and just have 3 agreements. Catherine and I spoke to Brian Lombard on the phone the other day to see if DOT, because these are DOT rail agreements. We give these to anybody who's doing any work in the right of way. And he said, no, they won't. We asked nicely. We also asked regular DOT comment. He said, no, there's no reason to. We're not going to do that. So now that's why you've got 4 agreements in the trail agreement. So this will all be attached to it. Just one memo of agreement with WRTA.
Which associates the others.
Which references incorporates.
Are there time constraints involved here in grant money?
Yes.
Okay, what are the time constraints?
They're waiting for me to call them after this meeting to know that these are signed, so they can get them put up, not tomorrow, Monday morning. Because if we don't get a contract written and committed, and construction started, I don't even know if it has to be finished, but I know it has to be started. They're in the same boat we are with our EPA grant, that we have to have it committed by June 30th. Hopefully done by June 30th.
They
All
need
right,
to be
so-
done by September 30th.
By September 30th for the EPA grant?
What's in what's
EPA
in,
grant, we're June 30th. All we have left on the earnings is the landscaping, and that's it, and putting in the trail, just the landscape. We have to finish the cover up,
Parking lot,
then the landscape, and then Ernie's is done. Ernie's has nothing to do with this, but it ties into that. The Phase 2 trail shouldn't take that long, because they're just taking out the Mayor's Crossing, moving it to Knapp Road, and then from where Mayor's was to where we connect with Ernie's, there's a little bit of drainage that they have to do in there. It shouldn't take that long. They could, if they got it out to bid, they could get it done by,
Well, you may have time constraints on so many days for bid, so many days to see notice to award, notice to
oh
proceed,
yeah, and the
so,
feds are very,
yeah.
no doubt, but if we don't have our papers signed and submitted, by what date do we lose the chance at this grant? We lost that bridge.
tomorrow, no, it will be over.
Yeah, we need to
They're
sign
waiting.
these.
They're just waiting, because now I just got the sewer interception one 3 weeks ago. We got the rail trail one on the 12th, and then I got the revised trail one this week, Monday, because I saw
Yep.
Monday and said, okay, this is the best they're gonna do for us.
Yep. Let me call them.
So it's been at least 3 weeks.
and you looked at the changes.
I looked at the changes. I'm delighted that they changed that language in the rail trail agreement. 1.4 makes me uncomfortable, but I think because if the WRTA, obviously if it isn't signed, but if the WRTA accepts the memorandum of understanding as it's written, then we're covered by them. I think these documents are okay to sign, and there's still some work we can do, but rather than jeopardize losing the monies, we can move forward with this and then work with the WRTA, who has always worked with us and for us, and, worry about changing the rail trail later. And when I say the rail trail, I'm talking about the 2009 one. Right. Which is still in effect, so I don't think that, what I'm saying is, I don't think any of that should hold up signing these documents.
Do you have the originals, Joyce?
These are the proposed changes?
Yes.
Those are the proposed.
And the contract is
I
with,
have an original if you don't.
Where's your original, Joyce?
Which one?
the one that needs to be signed.
All of them need to be
All of them need
signed.
to be signed.
Understanding. Here is an original.
Make a motion, we sign the memorandum of understanding for the Winnipesaukee River Trail Association dated March 19th, 2015.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Gail, could you
Opposed?
please let the record show I decline to vote? I never vote on signing motions. Well, if you all vote yes,
We all
and
sign
I
it.
vote no,
Okay.
does that mean I have to sign it?
Nope.
No?
I
The
never
motion
sign
was
when I
to
vote
sign
no.
it. Most motions, when they are
You make the
passed by a
next motion,
majority, it goes
Catherine.
forward.
You make the next motion, all right?
Ow,
But I don't,
the sparkly thing.
My notary stamp downstairs, as long as...
we're already here for the rail trail agreement's done. We don't have to
No, we
approve
have to
any of
sign it.
these. We have to do that one too.
Yes.
I make a motion that we enter into the rail trail agreement as presented. And sign said document.
Do you want, I'll second that for discussion. Is there some other language that you wanted?
Well, I don't believe you need to make a motion to sign a document. Your
Catherine's
act
not
of
even gonna
signing it
vote.
is accepting
All right.
it.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Gail, please let the record
Opposed?
show I abstained from voting on that. Thank you.
Yeah, this one, Joe.
This is the third one, just reference, Winnipesaukee River Basin.
Not abstain, decline to vote.
2A.
Are you
Not
signing-
abstain, decline to vote.
Are you signing them?
Well, yes, I'm signing them.
Okay.
Of course I'm signing them.
Make a motion to really upset Catherine Dawson.
Second.
And agree to sign the Interceptor Sewer Trail Agreement. Enter into an agreement with the Interceptor Sewer Trail. How's that?
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Decline.
Decline to vote. Thank you, Gail.
Wait a minute. We still need you guys to sign it or not accordingly.
Now, if the motion was to approve the document.
Mine was to enter into the agreement and sign the document.
That's all right, there you throw that sign thing in there.
Yeah, well,
Someday when we grow up,
It's just preference. It's not growing up. We're all
I think I
grown
may
up.
have signed in the wrong
Sometimes
place.
I'm grown up.
We're regressing.
no, you're all set, Joe. Because it doesn't, that one has names on it.
I see, the other ones don't.
cards,
I
that's
didn't notice any names.
Well, at least you signed under Tilton and not Northfield.
Yeah,
I have to
Did
tell
I?
you last time.
Yeah, you did, you were outside.
I think they have their own, they have,
Oh. Got it.
You realize we're signing documents that are highlighted.
I can take those highlights out, because you're signing a page that...
Oh, I really like that.
it would be the exact same language, right?
That really makes me
We should
warm and
initial all the
squishy.
pages of everything we do now.
Excuse me, I would like to leave those highlights in, because I want Brian Lombard to see them, that those issues aren't going away. When we can, I
I'm
do
so
want to write it and go through the process.
Circles and arrows and
Just
8 by
telling
10
you,
colored
darling.
glossies.
I'm signing it.
Okay, but I
Can we
will,
initial all those pages?
no, I think he needs to know that we object.
Don't give her any ideas, John.
I always used to. I've never signed
think
it.
it's a good
I don't
idea.
sign
On agreement.
I don't sign contracts as Dawson's Concrete without initialing every page and dating it.
I'm gonna date these right here, because these are the latest and greatest. All right, folks, they're officially signed. Woo-hoo.
If I may just thank you all for your
You're welcome.
You're very welcome.
Sorry for the hiccup, just wish we'd had these a lot sooner.
Yeah, they,
I don't understand why Tilton wants to protect this one.
Well, you were here for the original go-round.
Northwood signs.
Send those that
Bill,
way.
to date the other ones I signed?
Thanks. Clear a little room.
I don't think there was a date line.
See a date on it. Okay, we don't need it,
No,
okay.
like, on this date, the 19th.
This is the payroll here.
This one, I witnessed and date.
Okay.
Has to go to DES and Department of
Okay,
Transportation.
that one I do.
This one has to go to Northfield. I'll witness. And date. And this goes to DOT. We'll probably get this back in, what, it was like September 9th, we signed the first one, and we got it back from the Department of Transportation, fully executed April 2020.
all right, so, done, you're gonna bring them to Northfield now and get them signed?
Yes, I can, I'll call them right now. They've got a CIP
Okay, all right, maybe Rick can take them over.
Thanks, Rick, for all your diligence and everybody on the trail committee, because
Maybe you can just take them over, make copies of them and then
all the
have-
recreation areas that we have in town.
seal them.
I can see that from my house.
Do you want us, why,
It's well-used.
why do I
and
have
It's not
these?
just anybody, it's, you have children out there, people walking dogs, you have bicycle riders, you have
We never did these for
elderly people,
ex
handicapped
officios.
people. One of the best recreational things that we have in town.
We're doing that tonight?
Yeah.
We are? All right.
This is,
Well, no, you
it's
as
gonna make it
chair,
even more.
see how many.
All right, I get it.
You can take them.
By
I get it.
completing that, having the parking lot there, it's gonna tie in real nicely.
I'll send to Chuck the ones.
And it's gonna be there forever.
Okay,
No,
all right,
And we'll just also keep the badge up here as people come in.
all right. So we'll wait for you to give your report when you come back. Chief, do you have a report for us, or are you,
Just calls for service and then, update on the fleet. Had, just inspections, how it's going.
no? Okay. We said we'll take it after. You had to go down and get those things taken care of. You don't? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, he's gonna call people.
Okay, well, hold on a minute.
Wood chipper.
The calls for service, and then what was the other one? Oh, the fleet?
Yeah, just the inspections, how it's going with the...
Okay. That won't take long. Why don't we do that, and then we'll go right into Joyce, and we're going to go into committees.
I have a question for Joyce. Joyce, Pines Community Center.
Yes.
We had a request that they wanted second quarter as well.
And I held off.
Are we going to discuss that in your,
Have it
okay.
in mind.
All right, so Chief, all right, so memorandums are all signed, yes. Whoa. Cannon Bridge, is that done? It is, isn't it? That was done last week, right?
No, it's come back to us because Piper's made some changes,
All right, so you're going to
and I have an
bring that
issue
up
with
in your
it.
report. Okay, got it. All right, Chief, go ahead.
So, last week we had 386 calls and 9 arrests, which is pretty much an average week for us.
We're going through the inspections right now, and 4A passed, 3B passed, has some warranty stuff they're doing on it. And then 3A had a tie rod to be replaced and a door handle, both recall and warranty stuff. And then the rest of the fleet that has the unmarked plates will get done in April. And I was just downstairs talking with Arthur, and they're going through the 6B and 6C to see which is the better of the two that could eventually replace the 03 here.
Did you just say a tie rod was a recall?
No, that's a warranty item, and then the door handle was a recall.
The door handle was a recall. Okay, that makes sense.
And there's a strut that's a warranty issue in one of them. And nothing with the building this week.
That vehicle thing, where are we at with the one that has the check engine light that's been on since like day one when we bought it?
I know that there's a couple of them that Arthur said it's something to do with a fuel sensor, and he says it's just impossible to, he said you could change it, but within a matter of a month it'd be back on again. And I've even had it with mine, and he's cleared it several times. He said it's really nothing to worry about, it doesn't affect the operation of the vehicle, but he could explain it better.
Yeah. Is that the one that, when we got it new, the check engine light just kept coming on right up there? Do you remember that?
There were several of them that had the
It
same...
should have been a warranty item.
Yeah, there was several of them that had the same issue, and I know in one of the cars they did change it, but like, it happens in mine sometimes, and Arthur will clear it, and I said, is there anything to worry about? And he said, no, he explained it has something to do with...
Vacuum canister?
Yes. It's just, it seems like those lights go on for every little thing, no matter what.
We're checking on them when they do, though.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem is when the lights go on, that you say, oh, the light always goes on, but then something else goes wrong, and you don't stop because...
I mean, I pretty much go by Arthur if he says, don't worry about it. But anytime one comes on, we go down there, so I trust him. He just said, Chief, I could replace that, but a month later, it's going to go again. Back, so...
Yeah, if they're under warranty, have them replace...
Oh, yeah, no, these are the older ones. This is mine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, no,
That's
the warranty
understandable.
stuff, and that's what's good about bringing them over there, is they check all that, and if it is warranted or recall, we get it done, because I want to get the most out of the warranty work. Cast comes off Monday. Paying Noel graduated RAD. So she's going to do a class.
Why don't you explain what RAD is to the rest of the board?
Oh, yeah, rape, aggression, defense. So now she's an instructor to teach civilians, so school, or Winnisquam school, or basically, it teaches them basic skills to defend themselves if they're alone, somewhere where there's no help, in an alley or something like that. Yeah.
Senior center, yeah.
So the first couple classes she does, her instructor, the master instructor, will do them with her, just to make sure she's...
Why did you pick her to do them?
She expressed interest.
Okay.
She actually asked me, so... there's another officer that wants to go to, Jeremiah Trout wants to take that class too, and I think he would be good, because he's our self-defense instructor, so they kind of dovetail in together. We had it at Plymouth State, and they ran it all year long. There was always a class going, and they fill right up. So she went down in Concord and graduated, so she said it was long days and hard work. They don't give that cert easy.
How long was the training for now?
It's a week-long school, RAD.
Just a week, but it's all day.
Yeah, long days. Yeah, they put in the fall.
They stay right over there, right?
45 hours, it's a full...
Yeah.
Officer Salmon is next one to be able to go to, like, special operations training with Luke, if he's doing that anymore.
Oh, he's not?
Yeah, Luke wants to really focus on supervisory.
Is Chris still doing it?
Yes, yeah.
So you have Chris and then Andrew?
And then it would be Andrew, so.
Now, does he have to be trained, or wasn't he one already? He was one originally, wasn't he?
No, he's never done it.
He's never done it.
So I have to get him his basic certification, which will be in April.
Okay, and how long is that?
That's a 40-hour school.
Okay.
So, yeah, to get basics 40 and then again advanced is another 40, but it's a good skill. It
Yeah.
really is. It's one of those things that he can help run training younger officers, teach new officers tactics, you know, like when we did that stuff at the school. And then detectives asked me to go to IAC training, which is Internet Crimes Against Children. And we had some of those cases at the end of the year. So all the training's free. It's free. So that's the easy part.
Where is it?
It could be here if I host it. It'll be in the state, obviously. It's, I like hosting stuff. If I can host it, I will. We have some pretty good venues, but,
Then others can go other than the detectives.
yeah. But it gives, like, if you have to get on the stand and testify, like, they can testify as an expert. This would give them the ability to testify as an expert in those kind of cases.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we've wanted to put on our plate and get them for a while. And then when we had those cases at the end of the year, we sat down and talked about it, and they said we really should get that. So, it's a good thing, and they actually pick you, you don't pick them to be part of it. You know, there's a federal grant that covers it, and there's like half a dozen agencies on the state that are trained to do this, so we would be one of them. It's kind of good to
Good.
get together. And then I'll work on that stuff.
Okay, good.
We have some very eager and excited explorers to be downtown this summer.
And they're very professional, too. They're really eager. I really enjoyed them at town meeting and again at the district meeting. They were really good.
They'll be out there this summer, obviously with Rich or with I. But I think it's going to be good, that visibility, and they can do stuff like this. You know, there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's just such a great program.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he said he just got his 10th Explorer, with no limit, he can take a couple
Yep.
more.
That's
Can
nice.
those explorers check parking or issue tickets to dog defilers?
Yep. That's how Adam started.
Yeah, they can do ordinance stuff
Adam's
if they witness it. You know, one of the things...
Well, if they're walking up and down, there's a much better chance of them witnessing it, and we have a downtown presence.
Didn't you get them jackets or something that at one time, or
did, yeah.
shirts or something that said parking on them? Yeah.
Yeah. Have the right stuff, and so,
Yeah.
but it is a
It
good
was,
program.
yeah.
You know, they'll be doing stuff with the senior center, they'll be, you know, they obviously did CNS. It's a win-win. It's good for us, it's good for the town, and it teaches them to give back, and
Right.
not everyone has everything.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, so,
Well, good. Wonderful.
well, they meet downstairs, and then they just kind of meet when the events happen. Yeah, it's
When you, I know it's a ways, but at some evening, other than a Wednesday night, if you wanted to meet at the senior center, you're welcome to do that. Just let us know ahead of time.
Don't
That I'm-
they play music Wednesday nights?
I said other than Wednesday, yeah, Wednesday night, yeah.
unless they play an instrument.
Yeah. You can't get in on Wednesday night, let me tell you.
I saw the video, it was fast.
Yeah, I think
It's
that,
fun, I've been a few times.
yeah, other than Tuesday nights, we kind of share parking with the other people because they let us park over there. But, you know, I don't know what nights they meet, but you're welcome. The other nights are not taken, you're more than welcome to. There's a nice big meeting spot right there. The TV's there if you needed to show a program or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be good, because it also, the downstairs doubles as their lunchroom, so the officers' lunchroom.
Right, exactly, so you're not talking about,
Upstairs if
Right.
they're down there. I mean, they want them to have their meetings, so that might give
Right. We know what's available. Okay.
One more, Joe?
I do have a question, yeah. 2 weeks ago, there was a frontline cruiser being used for detail over in front of Agway. Today, the SUV was being used for detail over on Clark Road. The frontline cruisers and the SUV are supposed to be not used for details. I'm pretty sure we discussed this. We did discuss it, didn't we? Well, you weren't here, but trust me, we
Yeah, we did.
discussed it
We did.
on numerous occasions. And yet today, on Clark Road, the SUV is out there.
What's the
Do we have officers who are unaware of the rule or something like that?
No, yeah, because we're doing inspections right now, all the cars are either in AutoServe or in Arthur, with Arthur at the highway. So we actually get to a point this particular week where literally they're looking at my car going, "Chief, can we borrow your car?" Diggy come out tonight and he's like, "What do I take?" And I looked in the lot and there was nothing. And I said, "Alrighty then." And so that's kind of what this week's been like.
Okay.
So March is a bad month.
There's an explanation. Well, there's been bad months before.
Well, this is, because it's a fleet, they're
There's
always,
no light bar on it for them to use it for detail or anything.
No,
Heaven
no.
forbid you have to
So-
take it on a call.
So actually,
You could use a
You
spotlight
have
and
lights
swing
on
it
yours.
around.
oh, yeah.
He has lights in the dash.
We don't have any on ours.
Right, right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And so Dick's out in the expo tonight.
Because we want to make some money for,
He's comfortable, you mean?
Right. And I guess there's a ton of detail work coming in. We
Very
just got-
nice.
We just got a bunch of calls. I guess they're going to be running some new main transmission lines. You know the line that crosses Clark?
Yes.
There's going to be some more, and so...
The one that broke.
The one that broke.
Yeah.
So
Very pleased.
maybe they realize...
They're going to run that before Clark gets paved because it's all going to be all the trucks and stuff.
So they basically told us the maintenance crews of Asplin, they're going to be looking for police every day, but then there's another crew that's going to be working on those main transmission lines, looking for an officer every day. So, and then all the other stuff that comes in, so there's going to be a lot of work.
Good.
It'd be very nice.
Yes.
Okay.
I just have a few quick ones.
Yep.
Pines Community Center, now it's after town meeting, and we made his first quarterly payment, and he wanted to know if we could get the second quarterly payment now because of their cash flow situation.
And what has Tim said?
We can do it.
Does it leave us really short and then end up having to borrow in the tan come June?
Well, we always have to borrow. It's, what, $16,000 and some change, it's not going to make a dent.
Kind of scary that they've gone through their budget this early in the year to that extent. that they're
Maybe they
strapped for
haven't
cash.
got-
Well, they expend their budget at the end of the year, and then they're working on nothing, really.
A quarter from us and a quarter from...
Didn't Northfield
Northfield.
underfund them last year?
I don't know.
yeah, I think
They cut them back to level or
Yeah, I think
whatever.
I think
Both
that's
towns funded them the same amount this year.
this year. I think last year, Northfield.
The 64,
Five.
Northwood put the 64, 750.
Well, they had people there, right?
Tim says it's
I love it.
feasible. I just didn't want them to think that
It's just that he had
we
come.
could get the third quarter early or something if we don't have it.
He had come to the board last year.
Yeah.
Request
I have
accelerated payment.
I have no problem with it. What does the board think?
I say if we have the money, then we send it.
I talked with Tim, and Tim said you have to borrow from the tan anyway, and it's really not a significant amount to borrow it. So, yes, I say yes. Yes?
I was just telling her I had a whole bunch of those.
The poop sign.
So
Oh.
where do they go?
on the dogs.
Every tree.
Should be
No
on the
nails.
inside of the exit doors of every
Staples laminated?
rental building.
Every single tree, every
You know,
single
above the
rental
mailboxes in the
building.
building.
You'll have to ask property owner's permission, but every single tree on Main Street.
Yep. Every tree on Main Street needs
Every
one.
available place.
No nails,
No nails,
I promise.
bungee, something.
tie wraps.
Mounting for the
Okay, let's move on.
The Health Trust is doing their annual benefits administrator workshop. Dates are April 1st, 8th, and 23rd. I would like Gail to go. So whatever, I mean, in the past, we used, Catherine and I used to go together, but in this, because there's just a lot going on, I hope you don't mind that if you go one day and then I'll go another day.
That's fine.
Is it the same information, or is it different information, different days?
Same information, different days.
Okay.
Update on healthcare reform, discussion on how medical consumerism can impact healthcare costs, a review of our newly implemented Smart Shopper program, a review of Luminos medical plans and funding options, and more.
How much does it cost? So it's what day is it on, April 1st?
There's one April 1st, one April 8th, those are Wednesdays, and there's one on the 23rd. The workshop hours are from 9 to 3, lunch is provided.
As long as you're both not out on that same day. That would be my only issue.
Joyce, what does that cover, the chief one?
23rd is a Thursday, and I'd prefer not to go on the 23rd.
So we'll each pick a day.
What does that cover?
I'll give you it's the Health Trust Benefit Administrator Workshop.
You want to go, Chief?
You want to go too? Oh, wonderful.
It's always safer with the chief.
He carries a gun and a taser.
Catherine, I did call the woman about the crossing at Cumberland Farms and left a voicemail message.
Yes, she called me this morning.
Oh, she did?
And I let her know that I had communicated, well, I also left her a message.
Okay.
Communicated to her that I had given it to you and that the Board of Selectmen were willing to support them, and that so far we hadn't located any documentation on the age of it.
I'll try her again tomorrow. Also, I called Josh, I can't remember his last name, the electrician.
Carter.
Yes, and left a message. Have you heard from him?
I have.
You have.
He went up.
Okay.
Yep.
We passed, so I'll try again tomorrow and to come up here with us. And then Brian, I was going to schedule time with Al to talk with Brian to go through and look at the heat system. Same thing, call, leave a message, and so we're just playing, so that's still on the list.
Unless you set that at 80 or 90 degrees, there's really no heat.
May of 1996.
Here? Okay.
May of 1996, they repaired that crossing.
Yes, but she wants the antiquity of it.
Okay, I emailed you all, I don't know if you got it in time, because I just got it at 2:52 this afternoon. I think it was like 3:30 when I opened my email. That Josh Carter returned the agreement, and he changed a couple things.
No.
You're talking about
You're not talking about Josh
Piper.
Carter. You're talking about
The traffic.
Aaron Piper.
Yes, I'm
Under
looking at it now,
Article 5,
thanks.
indemnification, you can pass this around, you can see where he initialed the change. It says, including attorney's fees, and he struck out arising out of or resulting from the professional negligent acts. And then the same thing a few lines down, saying he struck the word arising out of their actions. He changed that to caused. And I figured, okay, that's not bad. But then I happened to really read it and went on to the general provisions, and he struck out a whole sentence under section 7. Did you see that, Catherine? So Glenn wants us to take a look at it. He hasn't talked to his board yet about it, but he wanted to know what our board thought.
And what is this? Because I don't see it in my emails. Oh, Paul Heiss has got the traffic study in there.
Yes.
Cannon Bridge sign contract?
Yeah, it would have been an email.
Got it. Thank you.
So, does anybody else want to?
All right, so can we look at this and, do we need to get back to you on it?
As soon as you can, his board's meeting Tuesday, so he just said, Joyce, call me when you've had a chance to look at this, and I talked to him about some other things. I said, well, I'm giving it to the board tonight, and I'll let them look at it and see what they think.
Can we look at it over the weekend?
You sure can.
Okay.
And then the other thing I just don't want to lose track of is the board had talked about doing a memorandum of understanding between Northfield and Tilton. Catherine had drafted some language.
Yes.
To know where we stood in that, because both town meetings have approved the project. So we're ready to go, so.
Well, we haven't got a completed contract quite yet. It's ludicrous.
So he sent back changes on it. All right.
Number 7 is the biggest change.
Can I see it? I just want to see what number 7 is.
But that's the language we included, and I thought Glenn was
Communicating with him.
communicating with us.
So didn't I.
Because every time we asked a question or mentioned a concern, he would call him and then we'd get an
Right.
answer back.
And he had this section for quite a while, didn't he? Because I don't think, this is in the general conditions, right? Provisions. We didn't put that language in.
He did.
That language in number 7 was
In
in
the
the
general
original
always in
general
there.
provisions. We didn't change or alter that with what we did.
Right.
So why wouldn't they have had a copy of that since, what, January?
So we're not,
Yeah, I'd like to know why.
yeah, I'd like to know why.
Well, I can tell you why as a contractor, why he took it out. The biggest part, I mean, it would make me kind of, cringe as a contractor doing business for somebody, but the bottom part, the very end of the sentence, where it says, "which may occur during the progress of the work," I would absolutely cross that out as a contractor. You have no control as a contractor of
Conditions.
changing conditions which may occur during the progress of the work. The owner can do whatever he wants to change conditions. You may not be privy to it.
All right.
But I thought it was primarily he didn't want to be held responsible for the fact that he may have underestimated or misestimated.
No, this is more them reading the contract for elevations, and this is details. Shall not at any time set up any claims which are based on insufficient data or incorrectly assumed conditions. That pertains to specifications on the actual work that's going to take place. It's kind of makes you cringe as a contractor a little bit, because you're getting blueprints that you haven't drawn, you have no control over it. Usually it's an architect or an engineer, and then usually the interpretation is from an engineer. Usually there's language in a document like this that the owner's engineer sets the first elevation. I mean, the contractor isn't even responsible for that. But this is something else. I can see why you'd take it out. And I don't know why the contractor should be held by mistakes that the engineer may have made creating those documents.
Well, those documents were created in 1977.
They're the original documents, that's correct. So why should the contractor be held responsible if someone who drew up those contracts made mistakes in them?
Because the engineers don't want to eat it.
That's right. That's the answer to the question.
Do you think that there have been any significant changes in that bridge since 1977? I mean, we know
In the specifications, changes will have been made because it refers to New Hampshire DOT, and since then, they have increased some of their specs.
just the guardrail.
Class 2 State A, Class 2 concrete has changed. What is that? That's changed, the amount of fly ash in it. So that's all changed. So that's what I mean, and do we need to hold him responsible? I don't think so. I think, probably what happened is whoever drew them up is gone, because he's probably gone.
Is this new work re-engineered?
No.
It's
No.
no engineering, we're just
It's fixing it.
something that's already been
Broken,
designed
right.
and built.
As per
So they're
the,
going to fix it to the original specifications with upgrades as needed to comply with the newest state regulations, or what have you, federal? Okay,
Well, as far as I know, it's just the guardrail that has to be
okay.
upgraded.
No?
Well, Catherine's statement about the
Materials,
quality or the mixture of
Yeah,
the
they're going to be
concrete.
taking up they're going to be removing the deck, they have to replace the concrete, they got to replace steel.
Specifications in the RFP that went out state what the state spec is.
Okay,
No, it says class, triple A, is it double A class concrete? What is that? Depends on which concrete company. That's a ratio. All I'm saying is, there's no reason to hold him responsible for a document that somebody else drew up, specifications. I don't have a problem if he wants to leave that out. We should know whether or not that document is accurate before we hand it out to a contractor and say, here, do the work. Not rely on the contractor to tell us that our document is correct. I think that's a little, never mind, we're on audio.
Well, did we have a copy of the design? Did we get those?
Do we have what?
The original 1977,
Yeah,
we have them. Okay.
I have them.
I'll get them on here.
I can go get it. It's over there.
As long as we have it.
I have the original blueprint, yes. I don't have the original spec book. But we respect it, basically. I mean, that's the other thing. Who respect it? Wasn't an engineer. There's no engineer stamp on it.
No, it wasn't. It was, the person happens to be an
Layman.
engineer.
Well, but there's no stamp on it. So that's the other thing, layman.
Well, then they're not a true engineer.
Well, that's the thing. In a contractor's world, exactly right.
Right. So maybe that's why, because we didn't use.
Well, yes.
But we have confidence in the.
Well, we better, because I'll tell you what, I'm fine with him taking that out. I don't know about the rest of the board, but personally, I am.
So what do you want to do about your MOU next week? This isn't that pressing.
Let me tell you a story about next week. If we start at 4:30,
Yeah.
we need to be at the New Hampshire DES public hearing.
Oh, it's 7.
We do have a cake for Catherine right at 4:30.
Oh.
She's not going to see this tape. She knows about it.
Make sure she doesn't.
Yeah, she knows about it. Yeah. So we have 4:30, that's going to be about a half hour or so. And so from 5, and then we have from 5 to 6:15. We have to leave here by 6:15 if we're going to attend that New Hampshire DES on Casella.
It will be packed.
And I think it's important that we all go there.
no, I have every intention of going.
Oh. So if we want to do it at 6:15,
On Casella?
The MOU can wait until the
On
week
Best Way?
after. That's.
You talking about the
the
Best Way
money's-
one?
We're not going to
The,
generate any
yes.
invoices for a
going to
while.
Casella public hearing, it's in Belmont.
We need to have a conversation about that so everybody knows what's going on, and
Well, I'm real hip to it. And I have all my Aquifer District information, too.
okay. Does
That's-
anybody
it's
know
right.
why that we weren't, that,
Yes, I did get some information.
I know why. I mean, that's the same reason they didn't
You
notify
have
us
it
the
in your
last time.
packet.
Yeah.
Okay.
That wetlands isn't.
Have this in your packet.
Let's just say important enough to them.
No, I checked with, I got this from Jean Bowden, and she said that the planning boards mailed their agenda of their meeting on January 26th to Northfield and Tilton planning boards and to John Chase's Tilton Northfield Water District. It says, Mr. Chase's copy is highlighted in red when there is any item that is on the aquifer. So they're saying they didn't get notified.
DES didn't send out any notices, and this is their meeting.
Casella was required to send them out.
The question, why didn't DES notify us?
Right.
Of their meeting? This is DES.
This is DES's public hearing.
Right.
And why didn't Casella? Casella knows damn right that we're abutters and that we are.
No, we're not. Tilton isn't an abutter.
We're sitting on our aquifer.
So we're not,
Doesn't meet the definition of a butter. But
Now, the fact that
the Belmont Planning Board sent out agendas to Tilton and Northfield Planning Boards and to John Chase. We may have gotten one here, but I get them all, and I give them to Dari. They don't go directly to Dari, but January, this is March, so
But did they send
I
us-
don't remember seeing them.
Did they send us their planning board agenda? Or did
Yeah,
they send us?
planning board is the
Okay, well,
same.
this isn't a planning board meeting.
Right, but that's where it would have been mentioned that DES,
Yeah.
that they've made their application to DES, and DES's requirements are, okay, Casella, before you come back to us, you gotta do this, 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 and this.
I want to know why, wanted to know why DES didn't notify us of their meeting.
Then that would be the first question to ask.
And I already know that, because I asked the question, it's because it's the same reason the last time when Bestway went in there. Those wetlands, that aquifer, the area where our wells is not a prime wetland. It has not been sent in with an application to be graded as such. What is it, GAA, and I can forget the other one.
Yeah, but it's rated as like the highest grade of water.
No, it is not. Northfield has never sent an application in to have that designated, ever. They were approached when Bestway went in there. I know because I approached them.
The wells are physically in Northfield, the town of Northfield has to do it?
Town of Tilton can't do it, it's not our wetlands, that's right.
So that would come from their,
Conservation Commission.
okay.
And if they don't have a Conservation Commission, they're Planning Board. If they don't have a Planning Board, they're governing body. So, anyway.
So the
So we're
signed
gonna-
agreement we have on the Aquifer District with the town of Belmont carries no weight here for garbage in the aquifer.
They are, the Tri-Town Aquifer study that was done, all three towns adopted the model ordinance, but Belmont rescinded theirs. So, because they knew what they were gonna do. So it's Tilton and Northfield that have the ordinances, but the ordinances allow, transfer stations, it just doesn't allow land.
That's not the same as what I was talking about.
If you read our zoning ordinance, it doesn't say anything about transfer stations.
Okay.
It would never let the transfer station go in the aquifer.
Well,
Are you all, you all set?
that was the thing, so we're gonna do that on the 26th. We're gonna go.
The public hearing.
Yeah, and so I've sent you,
So we stop at 6:15. So we just do payroll and quick questions if there's anything.
to read all this, but it's quite a bit of reading, so. And I've notified the planning board and conservation commission, and so everybody.
We go have time to discuss some of the stuff on it beforehand? or-
That's what I was
Points
saying.
If we read it, why don't we just use that time before the meeting to discuss it? And unless something that's really urgent next week that comes up, then that takes precedent. But I would say that, to me anyway, that I would want to discuss it.
It's a prime wetlands ordinance, is it 540C? I don't know.
What is it called? Prime wetlands?
The prime
ordinance?
the prime wetland, there's an RSA that deals with this prime wetlands.
I'll look it up over the weekend when I'm not doing it.
And, I just reviewed it very briefly, and it didn't appear that they were going to put any impervious surfaces or anything like that. The structures and the grounds were all staying the same.
Yep.
Are they still storing the porta potties out there, too?
Well,
Or are they
You mean
gonna-
cleaning them out there?
They stopped that.
They were cleaning them out there.
Well, didn't it catch on fire and all the, what did they call it, green ooze, all blue stuff, all drained into our aquifer?
Plus, in their application, they say that they're just gonna do groundwater tests annually, so they're self-monitoring,
That's their, thank you, yes, they are self-monitoring.
so that's not good.
All right.
We need to catch up before
We
that.
put Main Street flags on the, I was asked to put Main Street flags on the agenda because the Main Street Committee, which is no longer Main Street, put up the flags, Tilton flags, the yellow and then there's like a mauve color, kind of rusty color. They're torn and tattered and they really deplete the look of downtown rather than
They're really ugly.
enhance it, so,
Close to 15 years old.
yeah. Do you want to take them down completely, or we didn't plan for new flags? I mean, the holders and everything are
Well,
probably
they're-
still there.
Do they say, yeah, they say welcome to downtown Tilton or something. They're pretty ugly. I'd take them down.
Now, doesn't the Main Street Association still have money?
I think
There is
so.
no-
I'm sure
there-
they do.
There is no Main Street Association.
Yeah,
That's
I
correct.
The
understand that.
monies that they have left, they have portioned it out to specific causes. It's not to maintain those flags.
They're specific.
They gave
causes.
away their monies to other nonprofits.
Like, that deal with our downtown?
482,
Didn't we
Catherine.
donate money as a town to this? And then they turned around and took that
42A,
money and gave it to the
under
Red
the
Cross
dredge
or
and fill.
something?
No, it's
I
not
think-
Dredge and Fill.
I think someone,
482A15, prime wetlands.
didn't Parks get some of that?
We were supposed to.
yet.
Have we got it?
No.
We didn't.
Okay, we were supposed to.
All right. So I don't know where it is, Joe. But it's a good
quite a
question.
bunch of money.
Can we perhaps maybe see if we can get in touch with Sarah and Vince and see if there are any monies left over and where, what account for them, and see where?
Bill Lawrence was on that
But
committee as well.
the fact is there's no Main Street organization.
That's correct, there
Yes,
isn't.
So if
They
they buy new
disbanded it.
flags, who's going to maintain them?
Right. No, we're not talking about flags. He's talking about monies.
Oh,
Yeah.
why do we care
We-
what they do with their money?
We already,
Because it's our money. We gave them money every year as the Main Street Association. Then they took that money at the
we
end.
gave them
and gave it to
$2,500.
That law
somebody else.
changed, though. There's no requirement that they give it back.
Right. And
So
we,
think of that before you give.
$2,500.
I
we
didn't
gave
give
them,
them
and then 2
nothing.
months later, they disbanded. Okay, moving on. So is everybody in agreement we're going to take the flags down?
Take them down.
All right,
That's fine.
Joyce? Highway? Okay.
Something for
You
Dennis to
leaving the
do.
brackets up, or? Yeah.
No?
I would just save the brackets
'em,
and take
yeah.
it down.
down.
Take
it
them
all
down, save the brackets.
And they just look like something's missing.
All right?
I wonder what was
Bird
up there.
perches.
Yeah, oh.
All right.
Put your dog poo signs on them.
Call Arthur first thing in the morning.
No, April 1st.
April 1st, come down.
Can you have little
Oh,
stinky squirrels coming out of it?
Oh.
And flies?
I didn't write April 1st down.
We're giving Arthur a chance to psych himself up for this.
All right. Is there any more business to come before us and under the selectmen's reports? Because all that's left right now is going into committees and so on and so forth, and that's what we have left. And then I'm off to New York, so.
Nothing that can't wait on mine.
All right, okay. Everybody else set?
All set?
Good. All right. So I have a list from Joyce. Do you want me to write on this list? God, it's freezing up here.
Yes, because we need to give it to Cindy.
Okay. First up, chairman.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Pat Constantino to be the chairman of the board till next town meeting.
Second.
The motion is made and seconded. Any discussion?
I think it-
Will you do it?
Yeah.
You wish?
I will. But where do I put it, though?
I was initially interested in that position, but I have
I got this.
outside agencies, and I've done it for 4 years. I've risen to secretary of the co-op, and I'm the chairman of the UST committee, and I've got the things that I do. I finally got some influence for the town of Tilton, and I think it's probably best for me to stay doing what I'm doing. I'd like to do something different, but it's not in the best interest of the town.
Thank you. We need you over there at UST too, because I don't understand it.
What kind of tea is that?
US, us T. Vice Chair. Oh, wait a minute. All those in favor?
Aye.
I'll abstain, obviously. Okay, now, Vice Chair. Catherine was currently the Vice Chair. Any discussion? How do you feel about that one?
No, I don't care. Whatever anybody wants, it's fine. I think I had to do it, twice? In 12 months, so.
And then I would make a motion to appoint Catherine Dawson to be Vice Chairman of the Board till next town meeting.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll decline to vote, please.
All right. We'll skip this page. Okay, now, I have sheets here also for those individuals that need to be reappointed, so you take them back to your committees that you're
Those should be good.
ex officios, okay? Planning Board, currently, the ex officio is Catherine. Do you want to stay in that position?
Yes.
Okay. Currently, the alternate ex officio is Joe. You want to stay on that position?
Yeah, I changed the night of my cooking classes so I could be more involved.
Okay. Please make a note, Catherine, that...
Those should go to Dari,
Okay.
since he's in Town Hall.
Okay. Elaine, Judy Tilton, and Bob Haberman are out this year. Okay?
Bob Haberman.
He's the alternate.
Oh, I was going to say, he hasn't attended a meeting all year, I don't think.
No.
Very nice man.
Okay, Conservation, there's no ex officio, but for the record, out in 2015, which we need to have either re-upped or whatever, is Paul Rushlow, Ben Wadley, and Suki Cock, and Kathy Mitchell as alternate.
We
Okay?
should put that in their box for Eliza to collect. They won't meet again for a month.
Right.
All right.
And also, we need to, I'll put those forms in there. I'll email them the forms so they can fill them out and go see Cindy. I think Conservation already voted. Didn't you guys already vote?
Let's
They
see,
wouldn't
we
have
voted
voted-
on the chair. I don't think we
Yeah,
voted
they
on...
wouldn't have voted on their members.
people, On the members yet.
Okay.
They didn't have a list.
Do you want to take the list back? So write these names down.
They're going to get them a
You
lot
got 'em,
sooner
okay.
than...
Oh, you got it, okay. All right, Budget Committee, currently it's John. John wishes to keep ex officio member. Alternate is me. Now, I have no problem if somebody else wants to step in. I attend the meeting anyway,
You're going to be there in any case.
in any case. So if somebody would like to be ex officio, alternate
wanted-
ex officio,
That's one of your favorites.
Huh?
I thought that might be...
Well, no, because Kent also asked me to stay on for the fire district.
Oh,
oh, okay, so that's when you meet, all right. And so John Bossy is out on that one. All right, that's Wednesday night. You want
So
to-
Johanna should get that for
That's
the
the
Budget
night I
Committee?
changed.
Oh, yeah, that's right, okay.
They're elected. Cindy took care of those.
Oh, that's right. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Did they
Oh,
all
yeah,
get-
that's right.
Did they all get reelected?
he wasn't on the ballot?
Well, it says, yeah, should have been on ballot, clerk error.
Eric got elected, and Juliet.
So he should have been on the ballot, and the clerk made an error?
That's what it says on...
So the Budget Committee could reappoint him.
So I'll bring that to the next budget committee.
John Bossy.
Johanna should
No,
have that, so everybody
John
gets it.
Bossy did not sign up for it. It was only Eric and Juliet. They have to sign up to be on the ballot.
Right.
And-
Okay.
So
And-
why would she put down
No, but they-
clerk's error?
Yeah.
Why would she put down clerk's error? Did he sign on the last day?
I don't think that's Cindy's writing.
We got these from
Really? I don't,
Wouldn't be the clerk error if he
oh,
didn't
maybe
sign
I'm
up.
wrong, but I thought there was only 2 on the board downstairs,
Eric Pyra.
and Juliet Harvey, right? So,
Unless he came in at the last minute.
maybe.
Was one of them on a shortened term? Because with 6, you'd think you'd have 2, 2, and 2.
Well, Juliet was a shortened term, but she
Right.
replaced somebody.
And then she re-upped.
So she
Replaced me.
re-upped, so
Yep.
he may have just forgot to sign up.
Yep,
So the budget committee has to appoint.
Oh, wait, she
their
didn't
person.
replace me.
yep. All right, so the zoning board out is Joe Plesner, Arthur Demas, and Marina Sumner this year. All right, sewer commission, that's elected. Park commission, ex officio is Catherine.
Yep.
And alternate ex officio is Al, no longer. So you want to keep the ex officio?
Peter and I, shaking his
You can
head.
stay.
Peter and I are both members of the park committee, and 2 selectmen cannot be ex officio. So he could be the ex officio member, and I'll be the alternate ex officio. I go anyway because I take the minutes, and I act as their secretary.
Okay.
However you want.
All right, Peter. All right, so member 4, we take Peter out of there, and then,
Oh, good. So now we're down another one, Catherine.
so there's, Marina is out also, she has to re-up.
Yeah.
And then you have a vacancy, 2 vacancies, and now 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Gets back to that volunteers.
Lakes Region Planning, and that's appointed, I'm sorry. And Joe's that, and Joe's this.
Yeah, what a
And-
good point.
Recycling, Joe Jessman is the ex officio, and Catherine is alternate.
Just full of waste.
We're having trouble maintaining enthusiasm. Let me get back to you. I mean, certainly I would continue on the recycling committee, but I don't know if we've got enough people to have recycling committee meetings.
Okay,
Green committee.
okay.
We will be having the townwide yard sale, no doubt, this spring. We're going to meet on that, and then try to get enough people going forward to, we'd love to get some new energy for recycling and energy projects and composting and lots of different stuff to keep Tilton livable.
Okay, so do you want to remain as the alternate on that if you,
That's fine.
Whenever you're in the building, you sit in anyway.
Yeah, when I know there's a meeting, I usually stumble
Well,
upon it by
we've been having
accident.
trouble getting a quorum.
okay, Chat, Joe Jessamine is the ex officio, Jane Alden's the chair, and Pat is the vice chair. Out in 2015 is Bob Cormier, Jean Carrigan, Elaine Grace, Richard Paulus, Kim Soles, Cindy Reinhardt, and Judy Souzadellas. I can tell you
Your
that
alternate ex officio.
we don't have an alternate.
The only reason we had an ex officio is because we had
Issues.
communication issues,
Right.
maybe. I
Had
think
what?
those
Had
have been
communication issues.
rectified.
Yeah.
I think those have.
So you don't need an ex officio?
Yeah, I think it's I like what they do over there, and I'm involved on a, minor level compared to the rest of them, but I don't mind doing it, and it keeps me apprised of what the senior center is doing and what the chat committee is doing for the senior center.
Well, an ex officio is a full member and
Yeah.
should be acting as a full member.
Oh, I do. I do.
Oh, well, your oration didn't seem to indicate that.
He was
The
saying the
reason
other
that
day.
I was initially appointed, I think, is to facilitate conversations between CAP and the chat committee.
No, the Board of Selectmen would have appointed you as an ex officio member to be a full member,
Yes.
not to be a communications or a conduit.
And yes, they did. Indeed, they did, and that was my prime function.
Right.
But that hasn't been an issue. I don't mind continuing to do it. I like the chat committee. Well, somebody else would like to go, but...
Does somebody else want to be an
meetings in the
alternate
day.
or the chat? They usually meet during the day, so that's the
Yeah,
problem.
that's-
It's like 2:30
I
in the
can do it for a
afternoon.
couple months, July and August.
And if you want to go over, you can go
Sure.
over with me
Yeah,
and see
all
what
right.
they do and what have you.
Sure.
It's a very worthwhile thing, and I'd
We-
like to help out.
Yeah, we can put you as an alternate, and then, I mean, if they have fundraisers and stuff, you always, always help out. Weekends, they always have things like that. Let's see, Peter. Everybody in favor of Peter as
Oh, yeah.
alternate?
All in favor?
Okay.
How old do you have to be to qualify? I'm getting up.
Yeah.
You're not old enough.
They told me 55.
Oh, geez, I'm eligible. Wow.
Okay, the TAC, you're one more year.
No,
Yes,
3 more years.
it says
I know, that's what
2015.
I'm saying. So why does it say 2018? This is 2015.
You're out 2015, you're done.
You need to be reappointed.
Yeah.
That's according to this. Am I right?
That's the
See, I have this.
region that you...
I'm looking at
your
this.
term-
Oh, no, we're on this over here.
Yeah, well, this is easier. I don't flip pages.
Okay, so,
Now, Lakes Region Mutual Fire Aid Board, I don't know, I just put 1-year term. 'cause
all right, the
I don't know.
TAC is going to remain as Catherine, because she's appointed, that's appointed. Ex officio for Energy
Wait a
Committee.
minute.
Energy.
I'm appointed by this board, so anybody else could be appointed by this
No.
board.
You're appointed until 2000, it's a 3-year appointment.
No, this is Lakes Region Mutual.
You have to
Wait a minute, we're back
reappoint.
on
No,
Yeah, we're back.
We're on the tax
Lakes
committee.
Region Technical Advisory. It was
Mine says 2-year.
3-year appointed board.
How come mine says 2-year?
We appointed you for 3 years.
3 years here. This is the official work from the town clerk. And we haven't appointed her yet.
All right, energy,
it's
and
2:15.
energy is spelt incorrectly, everybody?
Yeah, she hasn't been reappointed yet.
No, it's injury.
No, 2016,
And
you
Jerry.
have to get it.
How
You
come it's
always
just
look,
me? Where's
this is her
Jerry?
last year, and then
Okay.
we have to put it here. Okay, John is the ex officio of that. Does
How's
anybody,
it coming over there in energy,
Well,
John?
you know,
Oh, it's
I
Jerry.
had good talk with all the other members, and they didn't have much to say.
Is there a chance that,
anybody want to be an alternate?
is there a chance that we can maybe roll this into energy and recycling
recycling, I
projects?
was thinking
And
That'd be
maybe it
great
could be
idea.
It would make sense.
Because, now with,
It's God knows we can use some membership on the Green Committee.
there's all kinds of things going on there to, for towns, helping them out to change power usage.
Yep,
I think it was Holderness or somebody just put in a big, huge solar thing.
Different bulbs and there's grants
Ashland?
and stuff. I mean, maybe
Power
we
the
do
whole town
solar
hall
on the
with
roof
solar.
or something.
Can we get some windmills?
No windmills. But solar on the roof, we've got a big flat roof up there.
Okay,
How often does the drain freeze?
this is,
We got tape in there now.
all right, the Belknap Community Economic Development is Joe till
Yeah.
2017. And then Senior Executive Committee, where the chair is, Gail, you giving this back to Cindy, right? Pat Constantino's the chair, Emily LaPlante is the vice chair. And we will both re-up, I'm positive. The Road Committee, Catherine, you want to continue on that?
That's kind of going the way of the recycling committee. Well,
Maybe we could combine all this together.
Road, energy, and recycling.
there isn't a lot for them to do because the
RER.
selectmen handled the negotiations
Or air?
for the state aid roads. I, at the last meeting, suggested that they look into scenic byways, but there, hasn't been any interest in.
As I recall, Mr. Hoey resigned his position.
Well, yes.
And he's listed here, but he's not on there.
The
doesn't think he
only
is.
people that attended the last meeting was myself, Judy, and Steve.
Who's Steve? Oh, Decatur.
Where do you meet, Onions, or?
That's what I said. Maybe if we met there, it'd be more people. No, we met here.
I'd go.
We met here.
All right, so do you want to keep that, and see if we can keep it going, or
Well,
anybody
we
want
need
to
to
be on the
come up
road
with something
committee?
for them to do.
Okay. Well, we need a new alternate.
I'll go on.
Peter?
So we need to give them a charge.
Okay.
What about working with DPW on, as they redevelop their 10-year plan?
We could do that, but that won't take up much time. I was trying to think of, like, that's why I came up with scenic byways.
I think monitoring, because all of a sudden you can get dropped off of that plan. They have hearings on changing that plan, don't they? And
Yeah.
they drop towns or move you up on the list or push you back.
You're talking about the 10-year plan. Yeah,
This
don't
is our
even...
10-year
Yeah, we're talking
plan.
about our 10-year
Yeah.
plan. No, I'm on the TAC committee.
Oh, you keep a good
This is
eye
a
on that.
different
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I
It
do.
can
but
change
that's-
every day.
Yeah,
the stock
that's,
market.
we'll have a conversation about that sometime.
So is that strictly road, or is it like road and highway maintenance?
The committee, the
Yeah.
road committee, when it was originally created, it was anything to do with roads. So the last road committee negotiated the last Class 2 state aid road project. But the selectmen handled this one. So I think that was a little discouraging for them. And then, like I said, I haven't come up with anything besides scenic highways for them. I was thinking in terms of, maybe creating an adopt-a-highway plan, or, just something to try to get interest.
Adopt a highway and clean up the poo?
But that's a good idea to have them, work with the 10-year plan.
Did you cover the liaison?
We have a 10-year plan now,
No, not yet.
don't we?
It needs to be revised because we have not been following it. So Dennis is waiting until the snow goes
Do we,
to see what we're left with roads, so we can prioritize them.
sidewalks?
The sidewalks, yes.
As well in the
Yeah.
roads.
And that was the other thing I
the last
suggested. There's
sidewalk project?
not all of our streets have sidewalks, and maybe they could look at,
I think we're about
Streets that
2 or
might
3
need
years
them.
behind on sidewalk,
Yeah.
some of them.
It's been a while since,
I think probably 3, 4, 5 years.
yeah.
We haven't done sidewalks for a long time. So,
That would be a good chore.
So it's probably a good thing to
Yeah.
start looking at.
I'd come if you told me when it was meeting. Just for,
but we need members, voting members.
Volunteers?
Everybody's welcome.
I can't be a member.
I
but-
know.
But I certainly could.
So everybody tell your friends.
Okay.
The road committee needs members.
All right, last but not least, well, except for liaisons, is Lakes Region Mutual Fire. Do you still want that, or do you want to, I know we talked about this because our chief was not familiar with the area.
He's now a Tilton resident, right?
Yep.
I have
Making all sorts.
I don't mind continuing on that. I've been communicating with him regularly, the chief. I think we have developed a good working relationship as it pertains to that. I wasn't able to attend the last one because of the election commitments and whatnot, so he went, but they were past their budgeting season, and I talked to Chief Hayes over there, it pertained to everything to do about fire, fighting, so that was definitely his forte. I told him I would attend the next one regardless of the topic.
So it's working out between you
It's
and him?
working out very well.
Okay. I suggest we keep it.
But if somebody else wants to do it, I'm fine with that. That's,
we need a voice. And obviously, you know about the billing issue that might come up in the near future. I really want that squashed.
it won't come up there.
Okay. We need a new town hall liaison. Preferably someone's around during the day.
Joe?
You do it?
Yeah.
Hey,
Now, what exactly does that?
The liaison
responsibility?
positions are conduit positions. We appointed those, started those, so that if there's an issue, say there's an issue at the police department, they don't have to call all 5 selectmen. They call one, and then that selectman relays the information to the others.
So this has to do with the day-to-day communication between the department and the board, right?
Or if they need something, if there's a matter that needs to be resolved, that's one issue. Or if they need something at town hall, they say, geez, you know what? We're all getting together and we'd really like to have this way instead of that way. What do you think? Could you bring it back to the board and then bring that to you? Joyce, are there any other suggestions in the liaison for town hall?
Have that person be available and kind of know like what goes on here. So get a feel for what some of the issues are so that, you know,
But also
what's going on.
the liaison position is also a conduit the other way. So the Board of Selectmen have a direct issue, then that liaison position usually delivers the information.
Now, I'm not around enough to know it for a fact, but I get the impression that sometimes all the selectmen, because we all come here, make it difficult for one individual to actually be that person. Because, hey, I go in and I talk to Joyce, and I go in and I talk to Dari and talk to Tim, and I would expect that we live in America. You have every right to go in and talk to them.
Oh, of course.
However, issues, if it was really going to happen, then yeah, I would be willing to do it.
Well, I think
I don't want to have to be fighting everybody.
I think that when an individual in town hall comes up to me, or even if I'm talking with Joyce or Catherine or whatever, and there's an issue within town hall, I always referred that to, Catherine was one time, and then Sandy was a couple of years, and then Al. I didn't get involved with anything that went around with anything with town hall at all. I'd just say, geez, why don't you bring that to Al? Why don't you bring that to
Well-
Sandy? And that's how it worked for us.
See, I have a different opinion of that. The Board of Selectmen doesn't subrogate their authority to the liaison. And there's not always a selectman in town hall. So if there's an issue that needs to be resolved in town hall, the liaison gives them one person to call rather than 5. If Al's not a selectman. If I'm in town hall and the liaison isn't here or isn't available, they can come up here and ask me, and then it's my job as a selectman to contact the rest of the board. We don't make decisions outside of being a board. There are minor little things, shuffling furniture and whatnot.
Well, why wouldn't you, I don't know how that would work. I would...
I'm just telling you how that's how...
Pat, is that really necessary to have one, a liaison for town hall?
Yeah, it is, because there's been some conflicts in the past, and they've been resolved through the liaison, and the liaisons come back and updated us on them, and, you know, they've done very well that way, and all of us didn't have to get involved, because sometimes they may not want to come before a board of 5 to say, oh, this is what's going on, and then maybe just comfortable with just one person.
You have to remember that liaison position might not even be used for months. I mean, it was to make it easier for the department they represent to communicate with the
Right.
selectmen. That's what it was for.
I still think you're the right person for the job.
I'll give it a shot.
All right. Liaison for police, I would still like to continue to do that.
Do they give you a blue light?
No, they don't, actually.
She's
I
got
don't
an
get-
assigned parking space.
I don't get any, yeah. I got a assigned one, all right. The whole side of, did you know about that? I parked in the parking lot at the police station, a couple months ago? And they sideswiped my whole car.
I think that was with the new
Backed right
police
into
car,
it.
right?
Backed right into, come out of the
On
garage,
camera.
backed right into it, right on camera.
I think it was, day 1 with the new police car, too.
Yep. It was, that was fun. Highway Department,
I have a question
I think
about
that should remain Joyce.
oh, please, go ahead.
when does the contract come up for renewal?
2016.
Next year, okay.
Well, we start negotiating in
We start negotiating in November, right. We'll start negotiating probably this year around November, December, finish in February, and it's effective the 16th. So it would be this year that would be the
Well, it's got to be
Contract.
accepted, right? By the,
We'd be negotiating it though this year. Right. And then,
Did you start that late?
yeah. We start around November.
It's like with the school, they'll start
end
September.
of 16, we'd be negotiating.
We have less employees, and we
Is it
have a
the
pretty good
17th?
framework now that we tweak, and the more we negotiate, the more we pay those damn lawyers.
Second
And I
year
hate
contract
lawyers.
right
You may or
now.
may not know that
Year
about me,
two.
but I hate lawyers and I hate
July
paying.
Oh, I've never seen you say that before.
Well,
I've been
let
over
this be the first
November,
time.
December 2016, we
I'll
start
say it often.
July 1 of 17, because it has to be in the 17 budget.
Yes, that's right, it is the 17th. It's effective the 17th, so the 16th we would be negotiating we would be the fall of the 16th negotiating the contract. Because this
Okay.
is the second year of the 3-year in that,
So we start next year.
right, for
All
the,
right.
for the contract, yeah. You all set with that?
I'm all set with that.
Okay. Highway, oh, it's 8
Joyce.
Highway.
We voted you for highway.
And you know why it's a good thing, I think? A lot of times when calls come into our office, it's a highway, where it's a complaint or a question or concern, Dennis and I can work it out at that level, but when it's a bigger issue or involves other things, then we can bring it to the board. So we take care of a lot of this.
Arthur and you? Arthur and you?
After April
Arthur and I.
1st.
Did I say Dennis?
You did?
Well, it still is Dennis tonight.
but all complaints that come in should always be sent to the Board of Selectmen.
You can handle the
You have
dog.
to give the department head an opportunity to resolve it.
That doesn't mean the Board of Selectmen shouldn't be aware that a
Oh, definitely,
complaint
yes,
has
yes,
come in.
Yes.
Yes.
We hear about those things.
Just a
Yes,
log.
we do.
Sometimes we hear about them too late.
I just wanted to make the board aware of their, Julie Swain sent this over, she's the art teacher. There's a March 25th, there's a 2015 Artist in Residency, it's Africa, celebrating community. It's at 5 PM at the Southwick School, sponsored by New Hampshire State Council on the Arts, Artworks, and National Endowment for the Arts. All right, and this is a little note from Eliza, we sent a fruit basket. On Tilton trustee of the trust funds are meeting March 25th. We do have a complaint about smoking at the highway garage. DES has a complaint, and it's been taken care of. Cease and desist is done, and we will be replying shortly. Thank you for the resident that complained. And that's it for FYI.
Do we need to respond back to DES?
Dennis is getting back to us. We have to respond within 10 days.
Okay.
Well, first of all, the problem is gone. I mean, they put up signs, there's no smoking anywhere, according to our town policy. And he's drafting a response, they have to file a written response, and the deadline is March 30th. So he's working on that now, and he'll give that to the board to review before it's sent in.
And just no more smoking in town, either.
So he'll send us, okay.
No more smoking where?
In town vehicles.
But there's never, you're right.
That's always been a policy.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
On town property.
I personally have been in vehicles in which Public Works Department employees were smoking.
Really?
Personally, yeah.
so, yeah. I personally have seen that, so I think that we need to do a cease and desist on that.
Yes.
If there's no smoking signs inside those vehicles might be a nice reminder.
So is it
That's a very nice
in
car.
buildings or totally the whole property?
The whole property.
Oh, look at that.
Vehicles, property. It's just a real simple, just says
Well, you
no
gotta
smoking
stay
anywhere.
on tapping,
So
huh?
then technically on town roads, that's town property?
Stay on tapping trees. You don't have to do it.
Public travel way is.
I thought you'd be too late.
Town estate?
Oh, we tap.
Still a lot of time
Pick up
left.
chewing gum.
I think, 'cause
If they're in a
It'll be
town
late
vehicle,
season.
what they do on their time is their business. God bless America. What they do on town time is our business.
Our
And
policy
your
said
taps made
the
it
town is
possible.
committed to providing a safe, healthy, and smoke-free work environment for our employees, visitors, and vendors. Consistent with our commitment in state law, we have declared a no smoking policy within our building and in town vehicles.
What is in this signal
Employees
go?
are prohibited from smoking on any town property, the employees' workday, including any lunch or break time. The town expects that our employees will comply with the no smoking policy. If an employee fails to comply with these rules, the employee will be subject to disciplinary action. Now, I have received complaints from some people about town employees smoking out around the town hall, and have commented. I haven't seen it lately, I don't know.
It's a
They're not
public
on town
sidewalk.
property.
To my attention, I don't,
It's a public sidewalk.
It's still smoking on our time.
Pardon?
being outside the doors and considered town property?
If they're out on that sidewalk, that's a public sidewalk. You would have to stop everybody from smoking on the public sidewalk. If
God
this
bless
is,
America.
if they're standing on the steps or on the,
They're sitting on the front steps,
that's smoking on town.
that's smoking on town property. And you can say, there's no
Well,
smoking on town property.
No, the public sidewalks
Public.
are town property. The difference on the steps is that's the property of the building. That's the selectmen's direct domain.
Town property.
It's during non-working hours too, right?
That's what I
No,
mean.
they go for smoke breaks.
That was
What they
semantics.
do on their break is their
Oh,
business.
during their break,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, it's
They
not
take
like,
breaks.
On town property during the
It's not like
employee's
every
workday,
once
including
an
any
hour
lunch or
for-
break time. So if they're eating their lunch in the back room, they can't smoke in there on their lunch break.
Well, they can't smoke in town hall.
Right.
Right.
They have to go outside.
Well,
I'm gonna
Well,
take
they can go
DNA
up to
samples
their-
of those cigarette
they
butts.
can go up to the parking
I've seen,
lot.
I know who smokes out there.
I do too.
I've seen them. I've talked to them.
Yeah, I can't.
It's a public space. They can do whatever they want, as far as I know.
but there is littering ordinance, so.
There is.
It's somebody else that's doing that though. It's up front.
We can't get the dog turd ordinance taken care of, John. How are we gonna get cigarette butts?
I know those butts
Having ordinances that we
are
don't
causing problems.
enforce. Why bother?
Dog
Just take them
butts.
off the books.
Butts.
Or enforce them.
One or the other.
This building, she's correct, because our property line is the building line. But at the highway garage, they shouldn't be smoking anywhere.
Anywhere on it. Or in the vehicles.
Or in the vehicle.
Especially in the vehicles.
You can designate an area, state law allows you to designate an area, but we don't have designated areas in any of our town buildings on town property.
So can we send a letter to that effect to them, or an email or something to say, no more in-town vehicles?
I would reiterate it, Joyce.
Oh, yes, I mean.
Just refresh their,
As their supervisor, he,
Yep.
I know he did it in the, in the
The building.
public,
on
the building,
Property.
but it should be in the vehicles as well. I think, right?
I think we should
I'd
get a
say
little sticker
absolutely.
that says no smoking.
That's what I was just saying, no smoking. Thank you for
Who
not
else
smoking.
enforce that? Have you been in some of the town vehicles?
Well, just bring them on there and,
I hate smoking.
it's not their
Nasty.
choice to be.
It's a nasty, nasty habit.
Okay, folks, is there any more business to come before us in a public session? Then,
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
A motion to adjourn is
I thought it was
non-debatable.
non-debatable.
Just read
I
it.
cannot get this message to go.
Well, that's the only one I know is non-debatable, see?
A motion to call the question is non-debatable, right?
If it's non-debatable,